Hi guys, welcome back to episode number 80 of the Couch on Ice podcast. I'm your host, Rhylan, bottom square here, as you can see. Top left square, we got Jordan. Top right, we got Chase. How's it going today, boys?
Good, man.
Good,
Excited
good.
For the big 8-0.
So good.
Big 8-0.
We're almost to Crosby.
Yeah, no kidding, hey. So, cannot wait for that big 80 episode. How was your weekend, boys? Start with you, Chase.
Oh, not bad.
What did you get up to? Just watch a little puck, sitting on your ass? That's all I did.
Oh, yeah. Always just sitting on my ass watching puck. Usually not stand. I don't know. I guess I stand and watch puck at times.
Yeah, I do that at times.
Depends if I'm making food or
I've been
something.
doing that lately.
Yeah, I've been chasing a dog all weekend watching hockey, so dog sitting all weekend, all fun. Good times.
Is it loud or what?
No, actually, super quiet, but it's my girlfriend Kennedy's dog, or it's her aunt's dog we're dog sitting, and it's glued to her, so I didn't have to do like anything because it would go 5 feet away from her, so I'd take him out for a walk every like 3 times, and it was good. That was all I needed, but other than that, all hockey all weekend. What about you, Jordan? What'd you get up to?
Not a lot of hockey too, man. And for once, I actually enjoyed it.
Yeah, your Caps beat the Kraken there, so it was a guaranteed win for once.
And the Canes.
And the Canes, yeah, that's true. Yeah, they've been slipping a little bit. Tight games, but
yeah, hey.
Definitely losing a lot more than you would expect. So, Jordan, should we talk about those games? And I'll throw it to you.
Yeah.
Do some of your quick rips.
Before I talk about the Capitals games, I'm going to start with Arizona because today I'm an honorable and happy, proud Arizona fan. Coyotes, woo! Okay,
hell yeah, bud.
We'll get the elephant out of the room. Nick Schmaltz, what the hell?
Yeah,
what was that?
That was a little good. Little good franchise
My boy,
record.
Nicky Schmaltz, boys.
Man,
like that, hey? Oh, I love Schmaltzy.
Man, that guy just like randomly shows up like Veg Melka every like so often and just plays his game out.
Man. Somebody got Veggie Melka recently. Was that Colorado or what?
Yeah.
Nice, hit that boy.
Yeah.
But yeah, what the hell?
That's a franchise record for Schmaltz, 7 points.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Oh, sorry.
It is a franchise most ever in history. It is the most by an NHLer this season. And I don't know if you guys know who the last one to pull this
Wayne Gretzky.
Mario
Lemieux.
Sam Gagner. It's Sam Gagner.
Did he?
Did
he get 8?
He got 8 points on...
I always mix it. Yeah, he did get 8 points.
No, who was it? Maybe.
Do you know who was on? Yeah. Do you know who was on that team too? Ryan Whitney with a busted ankle.
Old Ryan.
That was like pretty much his last year in the NHL too. Was that? Yeah, 8 points.
Pretty sure my buddy has a side Whitney.
Made some history that night. They are the first team to trail after taking a 4-goal lead and then still win the game by 3+ goals.
Yeah.
That's surprising. I would have thought Toronto would have done that at some point this week.
They can't win it. That's the problem.
Yeah, fair enough. Giving up the lead's the easy part for them. It's the getting it back. Yeah. Wow.
I don't even know what to say about this game. It was quite possibly the worst game I've seen for a while, besides Nick Schmaltz. It just felt like two teams that were like, you take the lead. No, you can have it. It was like, so Murray was quite poor. If you couldn't tell, he had a lot of goals scored against them. I like Matt.
Yeah. He's had a rough
week.
He gave 3 starts or something, I think it is.
Ever since Chase, you pumped his tires. We're like, man, this guy's been so great ever since coming back.
Well, it's just like you see.
I know.
His stats
I agree.
And something was like, holy shit, Matt.
I agree. It's just like convenient that we bring it up and it goes to the shitter. One of our favorite goalies in the league.
The other thing that was cool about that game was that Matthias Maselli got his first goal.
Yeah. It was a good goal too. That was nice.
Sweet,
that little backhand tap in or 5-hole. I love those.
Yeah, man.
I love those goals.
I can't wait to see what he turns into. Same with that Jan Yannick. I think they have in their system.
Yeah, he's decent.
The ghost boys. Hey, he's back
Man,
in
just
biz.
playing. That's all he
Murray
needs. He
needs
just needs
color.
like a new team every 3 years where people forget how he plays, and then he'll play offensively really
They're
good.
like, oh yeah, this guy's not bad at the
Arizona
defense.
should trade him next year. Well, his
Didn't he get like
value's as high.
5 points or something in that
Yeah,
game,
man,
or
like
4 points in
4
that game?
points.
Plus
Wow.
6. Oh yeah, my boy Dyson Mayo.
Yeah, man.
+6.
So, okay,
2
I have a
points in that
story on
game.
Dustin Mayo.
Oh,
This is like
this guy's okay. I'll give you a trade value ranking. It goes McDavid 4 first-round picks, Matthews 4 first-round picks, Dyson Mayo 4 first-round picks, boys. Like
And maybe a third.
and maybe a third.
maybe take one first out and put a third in. But this guy's worth that much. Like what are you
Man,
doing?
he's so good.
950K for 3 years? Like I'd
Yeah.
pay you fucking the world for this guy. Like
Yeah,
what are you guys
he's so good, and
what's going
it's
on?
funny. I was playing NHL on my PlayStation.
Didn't even give
this
him a
past
fucking
week.
mill.
I was playing NHL on my PlayStation this past week, and the average overall for like a fourth line NHLer is around 78 overall to like 80 overall, give or take. And so like a last line defense guy. Guess what Dustin Mayo they ranked him, or Dyson Mayo? He was 68 overall. He was a whole 10 points lower than at minimum what he should be just being
Like on
an
the new
NHLer.
game?
Yeah, on the brand new game.
Holy shit.
And they
Dude, that's
update it
crazy. Why
every
would they
2
have-
months. Every 2 months
That's
they
kind of
update.
weird that, like, why would they have him at that? Like, they've had Kyle
'Cause-
Capobianco and all
because
those
they
other guys
don't
at like
watch.
70s for like 2 years now.
They don't watch
Like-
games that much. They go off of hype a lot of the time too.
That's so
But
crazy.
It's just like I know it's a video game and who gives a shit, but like 10
It should
ratings
be, like,
lower is like
somewhat realistic, right?
Yeah,
You
and
expect-
the fact that you
expect
update
something like that. If it's got like actual scouting in it, you expect that to at least be accurate. Right?
it's just
That's
there's
unreal.
there's a lot of issues with it, but I was just crazy. Like 10 points lower than it's supposed to be. I raised them up to like 80
That's-
after
A
that, but like
68. Like,
Yeah.
wow, hey.
oh, it was pathetic.
The
I
guy's
couldn't
like
believe it.
24, you know, like these
And he's amazing.
fucking somebody who's been playing in the American League 3 years in a row is not a 68 overall anymore. The guy's fucking old enough to be
75.
a 70. Jesus
75.
Christ.
If he's not in the
Yeah,
NHL, just
give
get him like
a fucking
mid 70s.
72, you know, like at least
74
give him a
at the minimum.
70. That's
Yeah.
real.
It's just insane.
That's
I mean,
unreal.
like, so minuscule means nothing to the real hockey, but how stupid is that? Sorry, Jordan, you can go on.
No, that's okay. Matt Murray had a horrible turnover. He gave the puck right to Keller, and Keller had a wide open net, and that let them tie at 5-5.
Yeah.
Paul had a horrible fucking penalty. He sent the puck over to fucking and gave them the leading goal right to Kraus, I think it was. Like, both teams
That was a rough
sucked.
game, man. That was a rough game.
It was just a rough game. I don't think either of them really wanted to win, except for Nick Schmaltz. Nick Schmaltz wanted to win, so that's what he did.
clearly. Oh,
Yeah.
man, 7 points.
So that's what I got for that game.
He's gonna get no
like-
points his next 5 games. Like, none.
Dog, that'd be brutal.
He's gonna
That'd be
minus
really
2 in
horrible.
every game minimum. I'm calling it now.
The next one that I got, like I said, I'm an Arizona fan, so I'm sticking with it. You said somebody got Vejmelka. You ready to hear who it was?
Oh, yeah.
Colorado.
The Kale McCarr Avalanche.
The Avs got Vejmelka. Vejmelka
my.
puts up a 42 save performance out of 43 shots, a 977 save percentage, a 175 goals above expected save. Like,
Oh, usually a milkman
Fresh
comes to your
milk
door.
is
You're
on it.
excited to get some fresh milk. Colorado Avalanche are shitting their pants when he comes to their door. Just
Mhm.
lighting them up. Oh, what a game, man. I love him
Like-
so much. I love this random goalie that came out of buttfuck nowhere
me too.
and
He
is
came out
just
of
the
nowhere.
greatest every 10 games. Like, the best. Better than Massey every 10 games, seemingly. Like, it's insane. I love
Hockey
this
is
guy.
a weird sport.
Hockey's
Like,
the
Louis
best.
Eriksson scored as well. This is the second time this season Colorado has lost to the fucking Arizona Coyotes. Like, what the hell?
Nah, Arizona only likes beating big teams. That's it. Seemingly.
It's
You're
seems
muted
like
there, Chase, by the way.
Vejmelka really likes to perform against Colorado and the Leafs.
Yeah, no
I was
kidding.
just thinking, like,
He
this
put
is.
up wicked performances like 4 times this season now against them.
Yeah, it's funny.
Yeah, man, no. I'm just getting worried about Colorado. It's not good that you're Like
losing
team,
that.
like a team that plays like this is kind of how like
These are the
how
games.
this is simple
Like watching.
hockey they play against. You know, like it's. I'm kind of
Yeah.
worried about that with playoffs because like
Yeah,
you got to
that's
squeeze
all
those
playoffs
out. Like
is a
this is
lot. Yeah,
like
you got to
kind of
simplify it.
squeezing those games out and dealing with not getting the greatest chances or that frustration because that's a lot of playoffs is doing a lot
Right.
of good things and not getting any results out of it because it's just nobody wants to let a goal in, right?
There,
Is
talk about
is
Colorado.
I wonder if Colorado's leaning into really being the Tampa Bay Lightning before Tampa Bay Lightning won the cup twice in a row, I
I'm
guess.
sure
Like,
they'd like to
man,
do
they were the
that.
best team for 10 years pretty much. Like with if they weren't for 10, it was 7 of those 10 pretty much. Like and Chicago was the other 3, so it didn't matter. Like
Yeah, like
they're just
it looks like they're the Tampa Bay team that was the greatest all regular season, and they're gonna lose in the first round to fucking some team that's playing
Calgary.
really good.
They're
You
going to
know,
play
like
like a
look at
Calgary or
let's
something
Are we talking
crazy or
about like
nah.
the Tampa Bay with like
fuck. It could be goddamn Vancouver just
Well,
because
even later
Vancouver's
too.
gonna fucking make the playoffs randomly. Like
like
there's
when
so many
Seattle
random
showed it?
teams in there. Like
Yeah.
what the hell is going on?
I know what you're saying. I mean, obviously, I want to wait till playoffs again. I'm giving them if they don't get past the second round and like they need to
Like
show and beat adversity, Colorado, because they haven't done that in the playoffs yet. If they do that once,
yeah,
I'm less worried. They honestly they do that one time and I'm less worried because like they can do it then. Like that's the problem with the Leafs.
yeah,
Why we're like we can't believe they'll win the next round because they just don't. And when it hasn't happened, you can't believe it until it does
yeah.
with
Hey.
this team, right? So
Yeah, and
I
if
think I'm
people
just
are
that with
saying
Colorado.
that Colorado just doesn't care because it's Arizona, like it's kind of horseshit because like this
That's
Zona
bullshit.
team is better. It's better than the Wings team was the last
Yeah,
2 years. Like I
no,
tried to
it's
watch the Wings team those last 2 years. Like you could only get through half of the game. Like they literally didn't compete.
with
Like this team
Nathan
actually competes.
McKinnon
They just
on
lose
your
games
roster,
times.
you don't
You know,
half-ass games. Nathan
like
McKinnon doesn't allow like we heard
no
those
shit,
posts that
no
Zadorov
shit.
said about him and nothing bad. He's an intense guy. You take it or leave it depending on what type of person you are, but he wants to win.
Mhm.
He's not letting I don't care if you're playing Arizona on a Tuesday in February. That game matters to McKinnon, right? And he is there. I know Landeskog is their captain, but
Ronaldo shows, right? Just that
Michael
it
Jordan
doesn't
showed
matter
that
what
too.
game this
Anything
is,
to win.
I want to
It's
win.
yeah, it's a
Like,
mentality that you just don't
the way
not have a game.
Ovechkin loves scoring, McKinnon loves winning.
Yeah, that's exactly. So, yeah, I mean it's hard for me to say. I think they're going to be bad in the playoffs because of McKinnon. I am the biggest Nathan McKinnon fan just based on his drive and what he wants to do. He wants to do
Yeah,
everything and salt like
yeah. I just
I
thought
just
I'd bring
love
it
him.
up because
Yeah, I
like
agree.
since the start of the year, like I've been very against them winning the cup because it seems like it's going to be one of those years where you're just so
It's
amazing and
so
you just don't win.
obvious that they win the
You
cup
know?
that they don't win the cup. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, like
because they're
Tampa
like
was
the
like
Tampa got
that was the
128
craziest regular
points
season I've ever seen
ever.
in my life. They were
No,
playing tic tac toe with
that
each other every
was the
game,
most crazy
all
regular
game, and it was
season
the
of
coolest
all
thing
time.
ever. But let's get back to like Zona.
Yeah.
Like they've won like 3 of the last 4 games,
Yeah,
dude.
they've been dope, man.
Against Vegas, they won.
Vegas slipping as well.
Beat
Yeah, man.
Colorado, and then that crazy whack ass game against
They're
Ottawa.
5-5 right now in their last
Yeah,
10. That's really good for AZ, man.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah. Dog, no, they were looking like super good. They are actually like they look good. They also signed that Liam O'Brien for couple years.
yeah, they did.
You know
Signed
that like
Travis
27,
Boyd too.
28-year-old random
they got
dude.
Travis
See,
Boyd
they locked down
extension.
Travis Boyd to like 1.7,
Yeah.
1.6 or something for 2 years.
1.78.
Just couldn't even give Mayo fucking a Mayo. It just
Yeah,
blows me
I know,
away.
hey.
You
To be
guys.
fair, though, like I mean, they definitely got a bargain with Mayo, but I do understand the Boyd contract. Boyd is a workhorse.
Yeah, I like Boyd. I was looking
I like
to
the
actually
Boyd,
trade
yeah.
him, honestly. Like, I was looking at his team, maybe you move him to get some picks for him because he's got some
But I
value,
can
actually.
certainly
It is
understand
strange
him
that they're not doing that, but
work.
maybe
Hey, they want
maybe
someone to be on this roster next year. They
And
gotta have
maybe
more
it's
than 2 lines.
new trade.
Yeah, that's true. He's got term now, so. No apps. Jordan, do you have any other games, or you got any more on
I'll
the
quickly
Yotes?
finish with my Capitals. We blanked Carolina 4-0.
Oh, yeah.
Vanacek put up a hell of a performance.
Yeah. Yeah, man, I'm
Mhm.
leaning more and more towards you guys trading
36
Sammy.
saves out of 36, a 1.87 goals saved above expected. Like,
But
Yeah,
yeah, I think he finally came back, got his first full like real good start here. Nice to
yeah,
get a
nice.
good
You need
start out of
someone.
the way.
in his spot.
Yeah, you need someone to be a starter, man. Like,
It's crazy that everybody knows exactly where Ovechkin scores his goals, yet
And he
still
scores
does
every
it there
game.
every single game.
Pretty much, yeah.
Like,
I
it's
know.
unreal.
It's just that good of a place, man. Like he is that hard of a
Well,
shot
and his mentality,
and that
bro,
accurate of a shot.
The way he can slip in behind people and lose his man and give him literally all he needs is a second of space and he will slap it top corner.
He doesn't need space. What are you talking about? He's been
Exactly.
doing it without
Less
space
than
his
a
whole
second.
career. It's yeah, he's insane. It's literally the fact he's done that so long in the same position that he doesn't have to look where he shoots. He's watching for when that puck is going to hit him perfectly.
It quite literally comes naturally to him now.
Yeah, oh yeah. It's probably come naturally to him for a good 8 years in that spot. It's insane.
He gets in that spot and he looks at the goalie. He knows that the puck speed. He knows the weight of the shot. That doesn't matter. He's watching the goalie to see where he's gonna hit that pitch.
That's why, have you noticed too, in every game Washington has a power play and Ovi gets a shot off and doesn't score, that goalie gets praised the rest of the game. Because not many goalies make that save. So yeah, I know. It's just yet another one from
He doesn't miss the net. Quite frankly, it's either a goal or a save. So
or an unlucky bar.
Right?
But
like that's what
I
makes
agree.
him enjoyable to watch. Not much to say about this game. A Capitals home win in this economy is wild.
Man, no, it's straight up. The story is Vanacek coming back after like a lengthy time missed and just literally posting a shutout and walking away like, don't worry about it, guys. You don't need a goalie.
With 36 saves. Oh yeah, a wicked performance from him.
I'm so like up and down with this Washington team.
I know. You're telling me.
Like, yeah, dog.
This team is like
this healthy team, buddy.
Average.
I'm excited. They're gonna light it up now.
This team is average, and yet they're just like staying in that last while.
My injury corner.
Yeah, man. Like, I don't know. I don't know what to do. I genuinely.
What? Somebody else got hurt? Oh my god.
Oh yeah.
Great. So fun.
Unreal.
So fun for you guys. But is that what you got for the Caps, Canes?
Yeah, that's what I got for my games.
Cool. I guess I'll jump in with some of mine here. Mainly just talking about moments rather than games, because lots of hat tricks this week. Start with LA. Arvidsson. Talk about value trade as he is scoring at will lately since LA's kind of got some traction and Doughty back, and he get a hat trick and the game winner against Columbus in the overtime. So he's just been killing it. I've been so impressed with Arvidsson, and I wonder why more teams weren't involved in him, because like I mean I get the injury history and I understand the fear with it, but man, this guy, when he's healthy and playing top six, he knows how to score 20 goals at least. So super impressed with Victor and Kings. Yeah. Moving on to the Dallas Stars, talk about the player of the week, Jason Robertson, back-to-back hat tricks against the Jets, which was an overtime winner, his hat trick goal.
Can I give you a nuts
and the Wild
about Jason Robertson?
I would love to hear it.
He has 97 points in his first 100 NHL games.
Holy shit, man. Like, yeah, I'm hearing people on Twitter like saying he's snubbed last year for the Calder. I disagree with that. I still think Kaprizov.
I don't agree with that, but what I do agree with, I think he's one of the most underrated stars in the league.
Yeah, up and coming stars, absolutely. I mean, like you said, 97 points in 100 games is ridiculous. And I mean, once Chase comes back, he's got lots.
You don't do that unless you're good at the game. Right?
Oh, exactly. And
there's a reason he's on one of the hottest lines in hockey, and it's not just because he's getting carried. It's because he himself is hot too.
That line, everyone on that line is amazing. Like I'm so impressed
right now. And the chemistry they have together is like this. It's wicked to watch. It makes watching Dallas exciting.
Absolutely. Okay.
I can't believe you guys would bring him up without me being here.
I know, you walked away at the wrong time, hey?
Dude, doesn't
You
even
missed
leave
it.
him for me. Hey, like,
That's
I'm
why I
just getting
didn't go too
excited.
deep into the games.
RoboCop.
Don't worry, you can still
This
go
guy.
deeper in it. I'm not going much. All I got was
Oh, I
on
want to be
those
the
Stars
one
games.
that's excited to bring it up, man. Like, fuck me, I'm going nuts
So-
over this guy. Do you see me on Twitter? Fucking,
Yeah,
I
I
might as well
do.
try to marry this kid. Like, what's wrong with me?
No, I'm
Fucking,
agreeing with you. I think he's just
don't
oh,
blame
he's
ya.
so good. So
it's
good.
unreal. Like,
It
it's
is.
actually unreal. Like,
Uh,
2 overtime. You said those stats. You guys 100 points in 101 games.
Yeah. Yeah.
100 points.
That's
101
insane.
games now. For that one
Ridiculous.
game.
He is just the best up and coming
But
star.
I will point out,
One of.
he didn't deserve the first hat trick because he straight up cross-checked that guy to the ground and fucking picked
Yep.
up that rebound and went in. So he
Yeah,
actually didn't
absolutely.
deserve that. That was a huge
Missed call.
play on that Winnipeg game. Like, what the fuck was that? I can't believe they missed
Yeah.
that call, and
And
it changed the game. So
it did.
That's been a song all season, huh?
Yeah, this week there's a lot of players and coaches calling out refs this week.
Yeah, some
Bad
egregious
week for
ones.
refs. Bad week for refs.
Bad week for
Absolutely.
John
Tough break.
Cooper,
on-
I'll agree with you.
Yeah. On that Stars Jets game as well, Ehlers returned. I know you probably bring that up on your injury corner, but it's nice to have him back being Jets. If you want any hope of making playoffs, you needed him back.
Yeah,
Needed.
do they miss him for
Oh,
too long? Way too long.
far too long. Far too long. So,
Weird that it didn't sit with me very well that he happened to come back for that Stars game. I don't know.
yeah.
They better not have rushed him. That fucking just pisses me off a little bit.
No,
Really
I
big
get
game there, and all of a sudden Ehlers is ready for it. And that was just, it hit me weird. Hopefully it was just good timing, but
Yeah, no. I mean, I think it's a little bit both. They need wins right now. They need,
Fuck, they do,
especially against the
yeah.
Stars. That was a must win, pretty much. Like to keep them really close to the hunt. It's been tough, but I just got one more thing. I got Patrick Laine. He has 15 goals in 14 games. The streakiest player in NHL history, by far. Nobody
Certainly
can
one of
debate
them,
that.
not
No, he is the streakiest player of all time. I've
I
never
can't
seen a
think of
guy
another one.
get
Yeah.
a goal a game like that and be he was, remember when he got like 25 goals in 1 month or 20 goals in a month and then didn't score for 2 months, or he got 2
yeah,
goals
man.
in 2
like
months?
the reason
Like
The
reason
other
they
name I
let
can
go of him,
immediately
like,
think of is Sergei Bobrovsky.
fair. That's fair. That's another name.
The
Yeah.
only
I
reason they-
definitely think it's a toss-up between them.
Yeah.
But really, the only reason they got rid of him, technically, or traded him, was because it was just you didn't know who you were getting. Like,
One night
they
he's
just
the best scorer
couldn't do
ever,
it.
and the
deal
next
with it.
night he doesn't know how to skate.
And this is a team that wanted to be a cup contender, right? So I could, like, at the time, it absolutely made sense. They want consistency because they want to win a cup. You can't win a cup with inconsistency unless you get lucky and you get hot line during playoffs.
That Jets team was so good in 20. What year they go to 18 against Vegas there? Like that team was so good. And I thought
I think it was
after
just
that,
last year.
yeah, I was like, that was gonna be a team. Like,
Yeah.
they got Line
Yeah,
they got Wheeler, they got Shifley, they got Ehlers. Like they got that team, and they got
Hell of a
top
lot.
9. That's amazing. They got the goalie. They have a decent defense, and then their whole defense left. And like, oh yeah, no, this Jets team, man. That's why I tried Line, but like I said, killing it in Columbus. And while we're on Columbus, retiring their other best right winger and only other good player in their history, seemingly, Rick Nash, number 61 to the rafters.
Yeah.
Oh, the most deserved. I feel so bad for early Rick Nash. He was a problem individually for teams, like a serious problem.
Yeah.
Big,
Rick Nash.
strong, power forward, could score 30 easy, and just never had a good team. Never.
Yeah,
Rick
he
Nash
made
is
you
credited with keeping this team where they are. A lot of people think that they would have relocated had it not been for Rick Nash. Because he brought them out of the basement.
That's actually true.
That's pretty awesome.
Right?
But on the flip side, Rick Nash may have also screwed them by keeping them out of the basement and not getting better picks. Not that's his fault being a good hockey player, but just such a talented hockey player. I wish he could have had a more lucrative playoff career that wasn't just 3-4 seasons with the Rangers, and that's it. But
it was unfortunate.
One playoff run with the Bees.
Yeah,
which was cool. Fitting that he was like on that.
because I'm sure it was an honor to watch Rick Nash.
Oh, I loved watching Rick Nash all the time. Like,
I
I'd see
did, yeah,
highlights
I'm
of
a
him
big
every
fan.
morning on SportsCenter. Like, Columbus would lose 7-2, but one of those 2 goals was Rick Nash and scoring a beauty. So,
Yep.
it
Yeah,
was,
he always makes me think of what we could have had if Lindros didn't get hurt, because
yeah.
just those big guys were just unreal.
I was
good at
just about
hockey
to say
because
that.
of
Like,
their
he could
size.
have been one of the best power forwards in NHL history if he was on a better team and more healthy. Because he did have some injury issues in his career, too. Not too major, but
True that.
just a little. Moving
But
on.
yeah, no, I was super fitting that they had that game against Boston. Nick Foligno was on the team and all that stuff. He got
absolutely.
traded to Boston for that cup
Signed
run
with
or whatever.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
So it's pretty sweet that they
Absolutely.
seemed all emotional. He was all happy. I heard him on like 17 different news stations. Pretty sweet.
Nice.
Old
Love
Rick.
it. I love
Rick.
Rick Nash. The man who retired 6 months before he actually retired.
Did you hear his story on his number?
No, I did not.
Okay, so basically it was just he went in there and he wanted whatever number, I can't even remember what it was, and they're like, oh, somebody's got that number already. He was like, okay, well, I'll take this number, 16 or something, and they're like, yeah, well, somebody's got that number. And he was like, "Oh shit, okay.
Like
well, I don't care. I just want to play. I don't give a shit about my number. I just want to make the team." And he showed up, and they flipped it around and gave him 61. And
nice.
Here we are today.
See a lot of NHL players doing that too, or switching it to the double-digit numbers, like 88.
Yeah, they'll take their like junior's number and they'll just add another duplicate letter. Like 88 or whatever.
Or something like that, or just flip it, whatever. But no, what a great career for Rick Nash. That's a cool story. I like that.
Certainly deserves to be up there.
Moving on though, I got one last game to talk about, that Pens Lightning game. This was one of the better games I've seen all years.
It was entertaining.
Actually, sorry, I do want to bring up before Tampa's game against Chicago last night, because first of all, Vasilevsky robbed Kane. If you have not seen that, go check it out. It is the best save, one of the best saves of the year. That was Kane.
He made like just unreal saves.
Kane was stunned.
Kane,
I've never seen Kane that stunned. It was insane. And
scoring a lot for a while.
Oh yeah, a long time. I'm sure he's got robbed a few times in this league. And
I'm sure by some real good goalies too. He's played against like Quick and like Price.
Lots of great guy, Lundqvist for a long time. But the team also set a team record of 3 goals in 32 seconds against the Blackhawks.
How? How is that even possible?
Bad defense. I don't know. Like, it's just, the Chicago team, man, like, you think they got something, and then they just have, like, a 5-minute blip, and they're just gone for a game. Kirby Dack, too, also was robbed by Vasilevsky. So just a great game, Vasilevsky, and not a good game for the Hawks forwards. But, sorry, jumping back to the Tampa Pens game, this game I was talking about. Best game I've seen the Pens play all year, by a mile. We outworked and outplayed Tampa, and they were playing very good hockey. They weren't playing their best hockey that I've seen them, obviously, or else they would have probably worked us, or not work us, but beat us. But wow, I've never seen them play this good. The Tampa Bay broadcasters said that the Penguins are the best team they've seen this year in general. Even like they've said I've obviously been there for every Tampa game, seen a lot of different teams. That is the best team they've played, which is just super, super cool to hear as a Pens fan, obviously. Yeah, very high praise from the best team in the NHL, 2-time Stanley Cup champion, Tampa Bay Lightning. But what made this game interesting was ding, 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 another missed call that led to Cooper getting ejected. With what happened here, it was, I don't want to like sit here.
That was awesome.
It was great. And was it a missed call? Yes. Was it like the biggest thing in all of hockey this year?
The most egregious missed call ever.
Wasn't that bad. Friedman got his stick slashed. Friedman didn't like that, turned to the ref, didn't get a call, said, fuck it, I'll deal with Corey Perry myself. Grabbed him by the throat and whipped him down. No biggie. Then Brian Rust comes behind Anthony Cirelli and also tries to headlock him. And what does Cirelli do but slip right out of it and beat the living piss out of Rust as holy shit, Sorelli is feisty.
You gave me an excellent.
I
did
described this fight with him as imagine mixing the Alexander Semin slapping fight with a literal chimpanzee, and that was Anthony Sorelli beating up Rust. It was like Alexander Semin swinging his hands freely, but having no self-control like a chimp. And just going. It was insane. And then
I love that point fight. That was
what's that?
That point fight. That was awesome.
Yeah, no, that was good.
Nice.
Lots of fights.
That was so sick, man. Love that he fights Letang. I swear they fought before.
Yeah, I think so. That was a good fight, and it was just a feisty game. This was a playoff game. But back to the penalty, it was, I believe it was 4-on-4 after like that or something, or a power play for Pittsburgh, and Cooper lost it. I don't know what he said. I looked for probably a good hour yesterday on Twitter, online, looking to hear what he said. I can't find it. It had to have been bad to be the first coach kicked out since 2018.
Yeah, like I was trying to lip read. It didn't.
I couldn't
like
even. It didn't sound that bad. He was definitely giving it
swearing and being a real prick about it.
Yeah, and Cooper
like he said in the interview, like I don't remember. I don't think I said anything that changed the world or like.
Yeah,
was some
I don't
sort
think
of
I said anything
thing.
the refs have never heard before. He said the refs have heard this many times before, basically, of what he said.
Okay.
I found it funny. I don't want to say this lost in the game because it didn't. Like Pittsburgh just continuously working, and Tampa just couldn't get traction. But no, what a game!
Honestly, a coach getting ejected should never lose you a game. You have
NHL players are smart enough to know how to play hockey by themselves.
And exactly.
Realistically,
you have more coaches on the bench, but you have leaders on your team that know how your team
if
plays.
You were going to go around every 32 NHL teams, fire the head coach and say, you guys are coaching yourselves as players, 90% of the rankings of where everything is should probably be where it is today because hockey players aren't stupid. They know the game in and out. They know how to play. There's some small stuff, obviously. I know coaches are important, but it shouldn't, like I said, should not lose you a game. Like I said,
the top league in the world. There's a reason that these players are here. Their mentality and their knowledge above the game is levels above most people.
Absolutely.
Not all.
So, just great game and a great game by Malkin. 3 points. Wow, love this team. I'm really loving this team, and they're making it so hard to not add at the deadline right now with how good they're playing.
Can I say this again? I don't know if I've said this already, but you should probably. So I understand you guys brought these guys in, and your whole philosophy of don't want to trade first round picks and all this. You know, it doesn't matter. When your team plays good and it's doing this sort of stuff, it doesn't matter what your philosophies and thoughts are towards whatever you're thinking. I don't know what to tell you, but you might have to Rutherford it again if you guys want to call it that. But I don't care what anybody says. It wasn't a Rutherford. You wanted that the whole time. You guys wanted to pay those picks. You guys wanted to try to win with your team not being the greatest. So that was your fault, like management wise. So I hope they don't fuck this up because they should 100% go out and get somebody like super legit. Like when I say JT Miller, I'm not fucking joking. Like go out there and actually do something like this because it would be stupid if you didn't. Like your team's actually doing it right now. It's actually doing it.
Let's put it this way: we're in 6th in the NHL, and we just slipped the past week from 1st. And we're still playing some of the best hockey I've ever seen us play. I agree. Now, at the start of the year, I would have wholeheartedly disagreed with you because I would have thought we would be in below 10. I thought we were going to be under 10th place in the NHL. Not like down to 20, but I thought we'd be 10 to like 16, 17-ish. And we're a lot better than I thought we would. Like Malkin and Crosby don't look older. Jari
your
looks
defense,
better.
it's all about your defense actually playing how it should, because it wasn't really doing it the last couple of years. Marino was here nor there.
Well,
or
last year
Matheson wasn't there, or this or that, or
last year was the start. Last year's the start
Mhm.
because last year I think was the best Pens team we've had that will never get recognized. I think it arguably is the best Pens team that will never be recognized because we lost in the first round. Because Jari had a bad playoffs, but I don't think I'm not worried about him. Like if it's one guy who just has a slip up in playoffs, goalies have slips. Happens all the time. all the time. We had Marc-Andre Fleury for 15 fucking years. I know what a goalie slip is. I'm fine with it. So
Yeah, exactly. Hey.
No, I'm agreeing with you. I think we need to get a Miller. I heard a name out there that I found surprising, and I don't want to pay up the ass for him, but Ricard Raquel. A lot of Twitter people would like to see him on Pittsburgh, apparently.
Better not have to pay for a guy.
Oh, fuck, we're not paying up the ass.
Like,
I'd
if
pay a
somebody
second.
actually pays a first-round pick for this guy,
I'll pay a
you're just
second.
gonna be hating your life because,
Yeah,
dude,
I'm not a first. I want Miller. If we're
He
giving
is
up a first, we need
super
Miller.
one-dimensional.
If we're giving up a first, I want Miller, Garland, something like that. I want a guy with term who is going to be able to play in our middle six
I
consistently.
I kind of just hated on Raquel there but I don't mean to, because like when he's good,
When
man,
he's
like,
good,
I
he's
get
good.
so many points.
Well,
Like,
I
God,
understand
can that guy put up
the
points?
aspect of
Like-
like trading against Pittsburgh. Like Crosby's turned Connor Shearing into a number one center. What is Connor Shearing doing in Washington, Jordan? What is he, a third liner?
He just got his
Second
100th goal in the league.
How long has he been in the league? He was a Pittsburgh Penguin 4 years ago when he got his 100th goal. Like,
I don't know.
It's like I'm not like shitting on Sheary, but I'm just saying like Crosby's that good, Malkin's that good.
Yeah,
They
he's a
make
third
players
liner
better.
now.
So,
I mean, he's putting up wicked numbers for making like 850 K.
Oh, absolutely, he's making. Yeah, no, I'm just comparing the fact that
No, I
Crosby's such a
absolutely
good center. He can make an average winger a good winger. That I'm not against Raquel. Like
Crosby
you said, when
makes your
he's good,
value go up a couple million.
yeah, big time. Big time. We've been doing it for years, just bringing in random guys and playing them with Crosby to get good. But, anyways, that's all I got on the Pens and
I
the
have
Lightning,
one
so.
thing on the Pens,
Oh, interesting.
Wow.
and I don't know if you'll have the answer for it, Rhylan. But
Wow.
interesting thing to know.
Here we are.
The Jeff Carter trade, the terms of the conditions have been met. So in the trade, it was
The second and a third, right?
originally, yeah. Now you originally were sending a fourth. I'm not sure what the terms were, but now you send a third instead.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't care.
It's not that big of a deal.
Good.
But I didn't.
Because
know
he
the
played
terms.
like a certain
That's the
amount
only
of
thing
games.
I had.
Yeah, probably played enough
What?
games or resigned or something like that, or one of the things. Sure, cool. He's already brought more than what we gave up for him.
Yeah,
well more.
Absolutely.
He was the perfect Swiss Army knife for Malkin. Out. The perfect one. Even Crosby out. Like, he played number one center for a good 15 games at the start of the year, 10 games. Like,
And
he's so
Jeff
good.
Carter's leadership is so underrated. What he brings into a locker room is
He was one of my favorite players on that Kings team, if not my favorite player. Like, Gabrick was my favorite player.
Gabrick was my favorite too.
Doughty's a close second, but oh man, did I love Jeff Carter. Do you remember that assist he made with his skate? Where he had his stick and he just pass comes, hits off his skate right back to the guy, fade it. I love that. That's one of my favorite assists. And it's like so simple. So sorry, I don't want to talk about Penguins.
Oh man,
anymore.
that one assist that Crosby had, I just saw.
Oh yeah, sorry, I
pass.
totally forgot to bring that up. Yeah, that was insane. Crosby this week was a mutant. Him and Malkin were just freaks of nature this week, scoring at will, making plays. Our top lines have been A1. So let's move off the Penguins, because I'm not going to stop talking about them if we don't move off the Penguins. So Chase, do you have any games or anything you would like to talk about?
Yeah. I'm gonna actually kick her with Buffalo first, because they've been looking super duper lately. They beat the old Wild on Friday, 5-4. Old Craig Anderson getting her done. After Dustin, I think, started against it was the St. Louis Blues. And then they played the Stars there, which was a pretty good game. They lost 4-2, and then they played the Leafs, like we talked about, beat them 5-1. So huge game for Andy. Kind of got himself feeling good. And
I have a stat on that game. I have a stat on Craig Anderson on that Leafs game. He is the second 40-year-old goalie to win against the Leafs. Do you know who the first is?
Oh, that other guy.
David Ayers.
Best.
How funny is that? And it came like a week after. It was the 2-year anniversary of the David Ayers game or something. Like 2 weeks later. Great. Perfect timing. I love Leafs. They're just like
They'll never let that down.
they're the pinata, and the NHL is the stick.
Yep.
And it's just hilarious. Just whack.
And their fans are the poor adults that are watching.
Their fans are the candy that falls out and loses hope for this team. The pinata.
Yeah.
So
the jerseys that fall on the ice.
The jerseys that fall out of the pinata set on fire.
Yeah, but no, Buffalo playing good. It's good to see them playing good in front of Andy. They kind of looked a little off, and they've been good now for the last week or so here. Yeah, boys, the old Tuck and boys are getting their
Tuck and
Cousins getting her done. Well, Tage is just dangling the shit out of people.
So good this year. Like, I know I talk about Tage Thompson like every podcast, but like, I love this man. He's like 6'5" and can dangle in a phone booth. Like,
I mean,
dog.
He's been so good for a team that wasn't expected to have anyone do that good.
Well, and I remember Jordan, before he even changes on the podcast, you and I talked about Tage, like, he needs to step up for this O'Reilly trade. He needs to take a big leap. And we didn't give up on last year, but we definitely took a step back on him last year. So, no.
Yeah, as the team did, though, right? But
no, absolutely.
He went a little bit back as well.
As you just didn't expect him to really be as good as you thought, and now look at him.
Yeah,
what, 23 goals? Something like that? Like crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. He's a beaut. He is a beaut carrying this team or helping carry this team. And the other guy helping carry the team is my boy Ticker. Gets the start against LA, but he gets no help from his forwards, sadly, that day. I think, honestly, the team's a little tired, man, honestly. Scoring 5 goals the last 2 games, they weren't going to score a goal. Let's be serious about Buffalo. They're good, but they are not consistent, that is for sure. But no, that was actually a good game, hard-fought game against LA. It was awesome. Like, staying in there, Ticker didn't have, like, anything crazy to do, but he made the saves he had to. Only let in 1 goal. They got a couple empty netters. Yeah, man, just Buffalo just couldn't squeeze one past the old Cal Peterson, which is fine with me. Like I said, as long as this guy keeps trending up towards the playoffs, man, this is the greatest thing that could happen for the LA Kings.
Absolutely.
A nice quick stat for the Minnesota Wild, just to bring them up. I can't remember which game that was, but yeah, they pulled their goalie like 7-8 minutes left or 9. I don't know. It was a lot of time left.
Yeah.
And they got like 3 goals or something. Almost tied the game up. They were within 1 goal.
Yeah, teams do that a lot more now, pulling their goalies so early.
This team scores 9.5% of its goals with their goalie pulled. They score 10% of their goals with their goal.
That's not good. Well, that's good.
That's good that they're able to do that, but not good that that's where their goals are coming from.
It's also good that they're taking advantage of the man advantage. That should bleed into the power play, should it not? Based on 6-on-5 not being the craziest difference from 5-on-4.
They're super good at 6-on-5, man.
Super good.
Unreal. They do.
How was their power play numbers?
Yeah, it was the Stars. The Stars had like 3 or.
Makes sense. Kaprizov's so good at holding the puck.
Oh, he skates around the fucking net 8 times before he makes a play. So
yeah. It was the Stars that they played against, and it was just unreal, man.
Yeah,
how
Stars worked them 6-3.
How they do like 2 cycles basically is kind of how they do it, and you just can't stop them. And the Stars got like 2 or 3, maybe 4 shots on net from like the red line or so while getting pressured. So like they miss them like every time. Like they're good at passing. Dean Evanson knows that you can do this. Like
such a good offense, man.
It's
such a good
he takes that
offense.
Philosophy that I take when it comes to like. I always bring it up, but it's the Vegas Golden Knight first year edition. Like, it's how you do it. You just don't stop. You make sure you're all skating. You make sure somebody's open. You're always buddy with each other. So then the puck can never get stopped. And like, it's just
constant movement in sports is probably the most important thing. And I think the Minnesota Wild do it just as good as anyone, if not better.
Well, it's hard to do something when they're just passing it back and forth. As a defender, you're just like looking at this guy passing, and you could just get stuck watching this guy pass back and forth instead of like actually going to a guy. Just doing something at least, you know.
The first name that comes to my mind is Steph Curry. Steph Curry is always moving. He is constantly, if he doesn't have the ball in his hand, he's running by a guy who's setting a pick and he's constantly moving. So if you're guarding Steph Curry, you're running constantly and you're getting bodies in front of you constantly.
Yeah,
It is tiring to cover Steph Curry.
They got a lot of players in Minnesota that do that and pull players to them. Kaprizov's amazing at pulling guys to him. Zuccarello's really good.
But you fucking had like the grossest goal in that game. He just waited out Ottinger. It was so awesome.
I wonder. I sit in awe about Kaprizov. Like, he's not much lower of a level than Panarin is. Like, at all. Like, not much.
No, he is a star. Like, that's actually it blows me away.
He is more than a star. Like, he is a player you can build around, which I didn't think he'd be this good. Like, I knew he'd be a good scorer. I thought he could score 60, 70 points. Like, I thought that was totally in his toolbox, what I've seen in the KHL highlights and such. But
how fast that would translate, you never know, right?
I didn't think he would be dynamic and crucial to Minnesota as he is. I thought he would just be another, not like Hoffman, but like Hoffman. Hoffman is only good at scoring points. That's it. And sometimes he doesn't even do that good. Where you wonder if he's even a good player for your team because he doesn't bring anything else other than a shot. And I wondered if Kaprizov was that with skating.
That's something that Kaprizov absolutely brings is, like you said, a lot of the Russian players that come from the KHL struggle with the chemistry with the North Americans because the play style is different, right?
It was. It definitely was. It's changing more to being more similar.
And it's awesome to see him come in and link up with guys like Zuccarello so good, right? Like the plays that they can do.
This Minnesota
I was thinking a point per game was where he would go, but like this
just
is
under,
just
I
madness, man.
Definitely.
Like holy shit! Like
he could get 100 points in a season, like without a doubt.
But
they get a good enough team around.
He's got his boy Zook with him to help him out, which is actually pretty key.
Helps.
Like just like Pavelski is to Jason Robertson, like you just
absolutely you need that guy.
You need that yin and yang, and it's pretty crazy. I saw that.
Hey, look at Line. He scored 15 goals in 14 games because he's got Voracek.
That Hey Shaychik or whatever fucking posted like Jason Robertson's last like 3 games or something like that. His player card market value is $14 million.
Oh my god!
I was thinking like $5.5 million for like 3 years. But I guess all of that for 1 year.
For 8
14
years.
for 8. Oh my god!
That's how good he's playing as a $14 million
I'm
player.
So excited to see how much he gets paid. How much he gets paid. Because I want to know if they're gonna bridge him like you think, Chase, or give him the term, give him the dough.
Well, you can't give him $9 million after. Like, that's just crazy.
No,
like,
no, not 9.
Just a guy who lights it up, and then you're just for Kaprizov. Like, that's why I was so weird. It's so weird about Kaprizov.
The difference, though,
talking to him about it. But it's just like you just walk in and just boom, you're just doing this. Like
it's a little different with Kaprizov being he was doing it in a different league consistently at least, and being 25, 26, like he was at that prime age. Just to give $9 million. So
just talking about coming right and just being able to.
I think that you're right. You give him
technically he's worth $9 million.
Technically, he's worth 14. So
technically, he's worth whatever Pavelski gets paid because he's basically a shadow of that guy.
Pavelski will get 7 again for a year or something.
Probably
8,
somewhere between
7.5.
Oh yeah, and the other great thing, boys, that happened: the Wings picking up former 5th overall selection from the Vancouver Canucks. Ole Levy's a Red Wing right now, boys. Let's hit it.
Yeah,
I don't know why we have 9 D-men, but we got them.
I know. Well, it's to get Danny fucking DeKaiser out of your lineup. I would rather Ole Levy over that.
Fucking highly doubt that, but let's hope so.
I may...
This trade.
I just need to look quick. I may have a Danny DeKaiser stat for you, Chase, that I laughed my ass off. I don't know if it's still here, unfortunately. Damn, I don't have it. But their winning percentage was like... their points percentage is like 640% or whatever without DeKaiser. With them, it's like 450.
Yeah, dude.
They're so bad.
Osterley has basically played the exact same amount of minutes in the 29 games he's played. He has the exact same amount of points. I think he has 1 goal, and obviously DeKaiser has none. But DeKaiser's like -20 and he's +1.
Yeah, man. Like,
So it's
you
like,
gotta take
I wonder
him
what would have
out.
happened if we played Osterley actually in place of DeKaiser the whole fucking time. Like,
You might be
what would
closer
his
to
stats
Washington.
be?
Might be
Like, he would
closer to
probably have
Washington.
20 points. He would probably have 20 points, you know, in fucking 40 fucking 5 games or 50 games.
I wonder if it would get you an extra
30,
like those
Jesus fuck.
that change of. I wonder if that gets you an extra like 4 wins throughout the season, like just overtime ones that you lost throughout the year,
Yeah,
or
man.
like late goals that DeKaiser is just like a plug on, which seems to be all the ones he's on the ice for. Like, man, he is.
And a lot of them are just him. He'll go to the boards. Like, I've actually seen a guy tweet that before. It's kind of funny because a lot of the times it is him just like he goes to the boards and then all of a sudden there's just nobody there.
Is he the worst defenseman in the NHL? Like, that gets games. Like, I'm not saying guys.
I like to think so because I want them to not sign him. Like, I want him not on my team anymore. Like, I will say that because of that. But like, I don't actually know. I would assume so, but he can't be because he's like 6'5". And he's actually a pretty good skater.
I don't know. Tyler Myers is 6'6", and I think he's still pretty dreadful. Like, there's a lot of guys that are big. I'm sure The Rock is huge. I'm sure he's a pretty ass skater. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm not saying that size doesn't matter because it obviously does. I know what you're saying, but like, I think with him, it's irrelevant.
Graceful on the ice.
I would love to see The Rock skating.
I would love to see The Rock on the ice. I feel like he'd be like a.
I want to see Jalen Ramsey on the ice and get embarrassed just for saying he could be an NHL player in 6 months. That dickhead.
Yeah, no.
I will forever hate him for that. But no, yeah.
Go on to some other Wings news. Basically, change your glasses, everybody. Michael Bunting is just an abdulcator. Just don't worry about it.
Ooh. That's a hot take. That's a hot take. I want to hear why. That's funny.
I saw somebody tweet that shit. I laughed my ass off. It's like Peter Parker without his glasses on, and then it's like a picture of Superman. Like puts his glasses on, and then it's Michael Bunting. Because he probably will. I wonder if he will be that guy. Just play super good on a top line, and then just fade off slowly into the dissipate into the abyss.
Making a cajillion dollars forever and ever and ever, though.
Yeah, get hurt and then just can't skate anymore.
See, here's the only reason is I don't know if he'll be just an applicator with the Leafs, because if they didn't sign Hyman, I wonder if they would sign Bunting for long.
They wouldn't do it.
So luckily, they won't be stuck with Justin Abdelkader.
Luckily, it won't happen.
They'll get the good years out of Justin Abdelkader, basically, in being also known as Michael Bunting. That's funny. Oh my god!
Michael Bunting,
You just got like every Leaf fan listening to this, blood boiling. But since you,
the other thing I want to bring up is my quick little. I posted, I commented a list of the top 15 rookies right now. I want to see what you guys think of this.
Okay.
So.
I saw it actually on Twitter. So go for it.
Moritz Seider first, Ziegler second, Raymond fourth, Mini Barkov. Oh wait, no, third. Sorry, Raymond third. Barkov, as in Mini Barkov. Anton Lundell fourth. Nanjin fifth. And then Boldy, Swayman, Alexander Carrier, the Feather, as in Pepe Rivari, Nedvedic, Silly, Sillinger, Bunting, Veggie Milk, Kako, and Awesome Mercer. So one, Dyson Mayo's not on this list, so I fucked up.
Good name, though.
But it's more the top 5 that I kind of want to, maybe 7, just because of the way Swayman and Boldy have been playing. Yeah. And maybe, do we have anybody else we can throw in here? Does anybody else even have a chance? Like, I don't think anybody has a chance of even coming back up because there's not enough games left or anything. Like somebody could do what Robo did. I don't think it wouldn't matter because.
Here you go. Here's the list. Pull it up for you guys.
So
there you go. Just so when he's going through it, so you have it visualized. If you guys want to pause the YouTube video and check it out right now, then I would do that. Because I'm not leaving it on there forever. But yeah, I agree with you. A lot of that list, I like it. I was funny because like I we share obviously the Twitter account because we both use it there, Chase, and it was just blowing up after you posted that. People saying like one of the first lists I've seen Carrier in. One guy said like a lot of guys actually praising you for this list. So yeah, I like it. Can I just had a quick question about one name you put because I love you in nicknames because you always create nicknames. But
just something
sometimes
random,
and sometimes like I remember we were doing an All-Star game episode and you were talking about Sebastian Aho and I forgot his name was Seabass and you mentioned him 8 times. I sat there for 20 minutes trying to figure out who the fuck Seabass was. And then I figured it out. Now, thank God you put in brackets of who it is. Where in the hell did you get this Boromijovic bitch guy for Nedjma?
Okay, Boromir is on Lord of the Rings. He's the one guy on Lord of the Rings, the one guy that dies in the first one.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, he's the Boromir. He's just got a super big. He looks exactly like Ned, like exactly like Ned, man. Like I'm not joking. It's like if that guy had dark hair, it would be Nedvajik. So
that's
I thought I'd throw it out there, see if anybody would catch that. Nobody was gonna catch that. I was like, yeah, whatever.
I didn't think so, but like that's why I said thank God you put the brackets of Ned because for like a minute I was like and thank God I know who Feather is in Fair Party. Like
I was like I should probably put something beside Feather because people might not know that.
And same with Silly. Same with Silly. Like how many people know that 18-year-old Cole Sillinger is in the NHL?
That's true.
I mean, if they listen to this podcast, they definitely know. But no, it's just super fine. Great list.
Yeah,
I love it.
I put the Djokovic at the end, so I was like, people might notice.
Yeah, well, and that's where I get it there, but then I saw Brass and I'm like, thank God he did, because I also forget Nedeljkovic is a rookie again half the time.
Yeah,
because he's 25.
He should be like fucking.
He shouldn't be.
He should be like Bouchard. He shouldn't be a rookie. He doesn't.
Yeah.
He doesn't need to be there. He's played quite a bit, man. And
he's played enough. He played in the playoffs last year.
The amount he's played in the AHL as well. You know, like it's not even like a guy coming over from overseas. Like this guy's been playing in the A for one of the better goalies for several years. So I
know what I wonder they should do? I think they should create a mini trophy that doesn't mean much, but just do like a rookie goalie. It's too hard to put them in the same category as forwards and defensemen because it's way different development.
Really like the standout front runner.
Yeah, and you just do
being
like 15,
a good goalie.
Yeah, your first
amazing,
15, 20, you have to play 20 games in the NHL to qualify for your rookie season, or 15. Make it low enough that you can calculate the stats relevantly in short amount of games, but long enough that... So, yeah, I mean, like, that's...
But yeah, is there anybody on that list you'd think we'd want to even hire or anything like that? Like...
I mean, I'll say a couple names I want higher, but I mean, I don't say through bias, Mercer. Through bias, I want Mercer higher, but I completely understand that he's only at 15. Like he's slowed down.
He has a lot of points, and I looked at that and I was like, man, wow.
Boldy, small sample size. Oh man, no, Boldy's high. I guess Gene and Mini Bark. If Boldy played all year,
I feel like I could put Boldy a lot lower because he hasn't played all year.
I like him there. I like him there. He's been so good. But a name that bothers me, and it's not even because of where you put him, it's more of the lack of games he's getting, is Kakkonen. Fuck, they're so much better under Kakkonen in that Minnesota. Like, I think he needs to play more. So much more. I'm not saying don't play Talbot. I think Talbot's still a good goalie, but I think you have to play them at minimum 50% because I think Kakko is better. I think Kakkonen's better.
And sadly he hasn't been great lately because I've been saying the same thing with you. Like the
they
last
look better. The team looks better.
Ugly starts recently, but not. It just sucks. It is what it is sometimes. You know, you don't always play good, but I do agree. Like every other start before that was great starts. He's been pretty good all year. So yeah, they just started starting him here, and I guess it just didn't work right now. Where the hell's Talbot's stats here?
I don't it's just
relief for a little bit. Yeah, he's been off and on. Yeah, Talbot's been not they haven't been getting goaltending for the last 3 weeks seemingly. It's not a month when it comes to
I think Talbot's been very underwhelming this latter half of these games we've had compared to the starting half of the games we've seen. I don't know. I want them to trust Kakinen more. I want them to
I
actually
feel ya.
believe in him because I do.
Well, Talbot's rolling on 3 goals against average, so like, yeah,
Luckily,
hard to
your
trust
team
a guy
scores so much, but like,
yeah, exactly. Hey,
rough.
Kakinen slightly better 912 save percentage compared to a 908 for.
So
So they've been kind of more or less doing the same, but that's probably like if you take the last 3 starts away from Kakinen, like his numbers would be way better because I remember looking at him
for sure.
a decent while ago and they were better than that. He was at like
Yeah.
a 225
And
goals against. So
there's just certain games like every time I seem to watch him in that Minnesota, like I keep saying, they play better.
they look
better.
I
They just
agree.
look better at me. And it just that makes like as crazy as it sounds like to people that don't know, like goalies do make a difference on how teams play, like a big
Certainly.
difference. And it
Well,
doesn't
and that's
sound
the
like it should,
confidence you
but
have with a really good goalie is through the roof. Like the guys playing with Vasilevsky must be.
they don't
so
hesitate. They don't hesitate when they pinch with Vasilevsky because if they fuck up, they know they got Vasi. When you have a goalie you trust, you don't hesitate. If you have a goalie
When
that you
you're
don't
worried
100%,
about your goalie, you're trying extra hard to make sure they don't even get any shots.
which means you
because
take
know
less
that-
offensive gambles, which means you don't get the puck.
Yeah,
It's
man.
just small forecheck and
And
stuff.
that
It's
point right there is what pisses me off is that people let their goalies bail them out, and it's just a worldwide thing. And everybody complains at goalies that are not ace, super great goalies because I don't know because well I expect you to be the best goalie and that's it.
I think it's
It
just,
makes no sense. Like
yeah.
every single game, everybody you have to understand somebody lets in 3 or 4 goals. Every fucking game, unless it's a
Pretty
3-2 game or a 2-1 game. I'm sorry, like
well,
it happens
even
every
3-2,
game.
it's
somebody's doing it. So
yeah. There are
a good
very few
performance can
games that
still
there isn't.
happen while letting 2 goals in, right?
Absolutely.
like just
No.
because you guys are like, oh well, our goalie's supposed to bail us out. Like, well, like that's why I love
Are
how
you
Vegas played and how a lot of these teams play, Minnesota plays and stuff like that, because it's like we don't care who's in the net. We're making sure these guys don't shoot and don't score at any point, and that's the point of the game. Like, there's
Keep
no
them
just
wide.
giving guys freebies and stuff, and like assuming our goalie's gonna bail us out. Like that, like if
Well,
you throw that out the
yeah.
window, then you'll be doing a lot better going into the playoffs. I'll tell you that.
Mhm.
Your goalie does that on his own. That's the bonus of having a good goalie is him bailing you out when you screw up. You don't just play lax
the
because
last
you know
line
your
of
goalie's going to
defense.
bail you out. Like,
Yeah, absolutely.
but it happens with a lot of teams. Like, look at Tampa Bay when they throw Elliott in. Like, it's I don't think they play the same. They don't look the same. You know,
they
like
definitely don't. Right. I agree with that for sure.
So, yeah, I wish teams would play more like they would play if anybody was in the back of the net. You know,
absolutely. I agree with that. It's just I do get why they don't in some cases. Like when you have Koskinen playing a game where he lets in a shot that goes over his glove and should have been a catch, you can't tell me you're not sitting there as a defenseman like, well, I can't pinch anymore because I can't pinch on the next play. Because if they get a 2-on-1, if they get a 2-on-1 and get a clear shot, I'm scared he went like in. Like it's also on management and the coaches to see who's not good enough for your team. Like
you gotta think that the coaches are having a heart attack too.
True, no kidding, because they literally can't do anything about it except take them out and put in the other guys. So no, goalies, fucking goalies, man. But let's jump into a little bit of stuff. Some news I got here. I'm just gonna rifle out and then we'll get into
it. Wait, buddy.
What's that?
Last part about the games, boys.
Last
Mr. Sawchenko played, boys.
He played, did he? I didn't see it. I'm so sad.
Game. Yeah, the last game before our podcast last night, 3-2 loss in OT against the Ducks. I think they were up 2-1 most of the game, and they kind of threw it away. The old Sharks. So I don't even think you can blame him. It seemed like he played good from what I remember. I didn't watch the whole game. But
I've not seen him play a bad game in the NHL yet so far.
But I will say one thing about that Milano has definitely taken a step to just being a solid NHLer.
He's been a reliable top 9.
He's been fringe and up and down a lot. Like there is a reason. I know I've said before that like I don't understand why somebody hasn't just kept playing him, but there is a reason why he's been so up and down into the NHL. But he looks good now.
I think he needs someone to make him
definitely play this guy.
To make him
he does.
better. He's definitely the third forward on your first line, second line type.
Yeah.
Like you can't rely on him, but he will definitely gel in it. So I agree. Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, thought I'd pump the old Sawchenko because you're all high and mighty on him.
I just love him because I watched him play for the Warriors, and like
Well,
that is a goalie. I never like based on like where he was undrafted and such, like, or at least a late. I can't remember if he was undrafted or super late. It's just like you don't expect a goalie like that to make the NHL and see him 8 years after seeing him when you're like 12 years old and like, oh, we're in the playoffs and doing awesome with this Sawchenko guy. Like he's great.
Oh, yeah. No, exactly. So 33 saves.
Awesome. I love it. Shots. Man, I love it. Night. I wonder if he'll take the net for a bit from Hill or something while he's out. But
hey, like I was saying, if a goalie just takes that and starts playing great, like they will because nobody's been doing it for him this year.
And
like,
Vejmelka's the best person to show his example to if he's playing, let him play. Arizona's bad and he plays good most nights.
like when exactly Arizona plays that perfect game, you fucking don't give anybody an inch.
Yeah,
and guess what? When your goalie stands on his head, you win the game. So
I like giving him a chance a lot more and such. I love Veggie. You mentioned Oli Ulevi being claimed by the Big Bad Wings, but there was another claim as the New York Islanders claim Austin Chernak from Seattle.
Austin Sasnak. Yeah, man. He's the guy that I always get confused with Ruzicka because they got the Seds.
I know, right? There's too many like
Like, I thought Sarsnick was going to be a mainstay on the Coachella Valley Firebirds.
Oh, yeah. No, unfortunately, don't get to rock that beautiful jersey anymore. It's going to the island.
no Firebird jersey for you.
No Firebird jersey. Got some Vegas news. Just want to bring up Eichel, basically. Talk about how he scored 2 in his past 2. Scored his first goal in Vegas land at T-Mobile, which was cool, breakaway, snipe, and then scoring the game winner with seconds remaining in a game that probably should not have been a power play, and Ottawa should have gotten a mercy point minimum out of that game yesterday. That was pathetic. Again, refs, just bad week for refs, man. Like, that tripping was the softest tripping call I've ever seen.
Right.
And it's regular season.
Yeah, you're not calling that.
Like, it's regular season and I still don't call that. Like, that's how you know it's a bad call. If it's a soft call, especially at that late in the game. There was like a minute left and they called it. Like, what are you doing? We like the fact that they won't call McDavid if the exact same thing but worse happens and gets tripped, but they called that is ridiculous. So I just want to bring it up. But yeah, like I said, Eichel, saddening Sens fans everywhere. Might be for a good thing losing extra on that point though. Get a little higher in the draft. But moving on to I got nothing in the NHL, I don't think, actually. Yeah, I got one thing I'll end on. It's a video of a Wings prospect that I think you will enjoy, Chase. I don't know if I brought this up. Is Pasquale Zito.
Oh, that guy,
yeah.
That guy's face.
And I'm about to show it to everyone else soon, so I'll play that clip in a minute. But I don't remember if I brought this up a podcast ago. But Anaheim did say they're not letting Lindholm, Manson, and Raquel out the door for free. I feel like I brought that up, and if you didn't know, now you do. But not surprising.
That's
they should.
While you're bringing that up, I'll bring up my 2 things. The Wayne train, Wayne Simmons gets 1,000 games in the NHL.
Yeah. Oh yeah, getting his love it.
Yeah. As well as him.
They were wearing T-shirts too. Sorry, the Leafs players during the
Leaf. Yeah, there was a good picture of Michael Bunting.
He was wearing a Wayne train shirt there before the game. That was cool.
Yeah, Gio gets 1,000 games as well.
Oh, he did hit. Really?
Yeah.
He hasn't hit 1,000 until now. That's crazy to me. That's what's crazy to me.
There was an awesome video that the Flames players did a tribute to Gio.
Awesome.
Oh, it was wicked. It was wicked.
That's awesome.
So Gio.
No, super cool.
Privilege for him, right? Like, I think he played like 900 something in Calgary.
Oh, absolutely. Well, like I said, I'm surprised he only played 900 Calgary. I thought he would have played his 1,000th in Calgary, funny enough. So, no, I just got a few more things before I play that clip. It was super cool, but they're outside the NHL news. Some of it obviously involving the real life news going on with Ukraine. just more hockey related stuff coming up with this. CCM has stopped using Alex Ovechkin and other Russian players in global marketing, but it is worth noting they will still get their full paycheck. So like they're not losing anything; they're just not in a commercial.
I can't remember what company it's for, but the awesome commercial with Ovechkin and Backstrom is now not being aired.
I know, that's like my favorite commercial. It's like,
one of my favorite.
Why is Backstrom our insurance policy?
Goes.
If I get hurt, or who's back you gonna pass the puck to? I love it. What then? Yeah, what then? Love that commercial. I love it. So good. But we got some more bans for Russian and Belarus players as the IIHF banned Russian and Belarus players from international play for the next year at least. Worth noting that Netflix has also banned Russia from using Netflix. Well, this is going on like
man. There's been like no trolls. Have you been loving like all the social medias? No trolls anymore.
Yeah,
getting that no Russian trolls randomly saying random stupid fucking shit and
now it's just
saying trucker freedom or whatever. Anything random you could think of.
Bots.
Got the.
No, it's
just love bots.
Gotta love the bots. Yeah, make and break a whole social media platform. Also worth noting,
it's so bad. It's super not good. Like just spreading misinformation constantly. Like that's just what it was.
Which is funny enough illegal. In certain cases to an extent. But anyways, moving on to more serious note for Russian players. A lot of Russian players are facing a lot of harassment right now. Dan Milstein's clients mainly, he's got 75% of Russians that they've been getting death threats and all facing harassment constantly on Twitter, all this through it. And names that were mentioned in it who are his clients, Kucherov and Vasilevsky are named in it, specifically being the biggest names on Dan Milstein's team. But pathetic, guys. Come on. Like, I get it. Poutine's a bad person. Like, bad. But Ovi didn't send anyone. Kucherov didn't send... Like, these guys are NHL players.
And say, you
they're,
did it.
They're
9/11
hockey in North America. The only relation like a guy like Alexander Ovechkin has really to Russia anymore is that his family is there.
Yeah,
he hasn't been involved in.
Yeah, dude. Like most of these guys that like
are 18.
There's it's.
Most of these guys that come here and play hockey are
they're
doing it
money.
to get away.
They're not here for politics.
Like,
they're here because they love hockey and they're fucking good at it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, it's tough. Like, I don't want to like say like who follows who because obviously Ovi still has a picture of Putin in his profile picture. That's not a good look. Obviously, like it's a small thing. It's a small thing. I'm not gonna sit here and be like, Ovi, you terrible person. I don't give a shit that much that he has a picture. It doesn't bother me that much. But
I'm not gonna.
It just shows. The ties are there.
Is a lot of the things Putin said when he was trying to get elected were good, as all politicians do, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there's a reason that people
seemingly good, obviously. And it's also worth noting too, Russian athletes are famous as shit in Russia. Like, more than famous. Like, how we view, like, the U.S. views, like, Leonardo DiCaprio type, that's how Russians view their athletes. So they get paid a lot of money by the government and stuff, and I've heard like stories throughout the years of Malkin having a black Russian card that can pay for anything. Well, not anymore seemingly, but could have paid for anything.
I heard a story. Mike Rupp, I think. Yeah, Mike Rupp was saying Zygmunt Palffy needed like 5 points in his last game to get a bonus or something like that, and I don't know. He had some ties with.
Russia
or something like that.
It's insane.
Yeah, he wanted that bonus, and he fucking went out and got it. It took 5 points in his last game to get all this money or whatever.
Yeah, that's common with Russian players. So that's why it's worth bringing them up. And now it's the threats that I'm like, come on. Obviously, as we all are, like, grow the fuck up.
Yeah.
You can say you disagree.
Yeah, like what
with
I like
who they follow. That's fine. I mean, I'm sure we have different political views. Who gives a shit?
In this. It's also
in this situation,
guys like Russians to outwardly speak negatively about their government because of the awful things that happen and has happened in history.
Panarin had to leave the NHL last year because he spoke up about an opposing player vote. He didn't say anything negative about Putin in public. He put a praise for the other person trying to win and
So
he had to go back home and protect his family from Putin. So it
That is
shows
another thing
enough.
is
There's a lot of fear.
There's a reason a guy like Ovechkin won't say something negative right now because his family lives in Russia.
Yes.
He doesn't want anything to happen to his family.
Yes. Very true.
Yeah, like when it comes, like I don't know what's wrong with people on social media, but it's just as simple as like, why do you need to instantly go off on a rail on people? Like this guy's lived there his whole life and stuff. Like you're just expecting him in a day to just completely change every thought he's ever had and what he's believed in and
drop
his country. Like instantly become an American citizen and stuff like this. Like calm the hell down, give these people time to just realize the fact that his own, like this is happening. Like
and
Jesus, like let him sit there and think about this for a fucking couple weeks or something. Like
for
I don't
people
know.
saying that, oh well,
so weird.
Why don't you speak out, move your family across, blah blah blah. Like that's not hard. They have the money. They shouldn't be complaining. It's like, okay, well, first of all, fuck you for telling them to leave their country.
More volatile than that, you know.
Okay, you know what? I don't like you. I'm gonna hurt your family if you don't move to Australia. Go. No, I don't care if you're from here. I don't care if your family's here. Leave. No, bring them with you. If you're so sad, you have the money. You leave. That's the same thing. You cannot ask someone to leave their home country just
their children
because it will make you feel better. Like, fuck off. Seriously. I'm sorry I'm like working up about it, but like that's insane. That is ridiculous. People are so stupid. He wants to live in his home country. Let him.
Yeah.
Not his fault. He doesn't want to get killed in his home country. He's not going to say anything. I'm not going to walk up to a cartel and say you guys are idiots and I don't believe in anything. I'm going to get shot. Like, it's common sense. Common sense is not a hard thing to comprehend.
Technically, North America can't say, and especially the States can't say anything because of what now has come to light about what happened with Afghanistan. You know, like they did not do that justly like we thought they were. Like everything was legal to do what they did. It's just like in the end, they didn't actually do what they were supposed to be doing there, and it was all just a big fucking waste of time, basically. And now we've created this sort of situation. But our Russians are yelling at us, you know, just like we're yelling at Ovechkin, or Europeans or all over the world. They're yelling at Americans like, what are you doing? Fucking, you guys did the whole Afghani thing, and like you did that legally. You didn't even do what you're supposed to do. Fucking, it's unreal.
It's insane.
I hate that there's this going on, but people, I guess, need to show. Need to show who they are, I guess. Take a stand.
Or don't. Some don't need to show who they are. I'd be very more happy if some people just shut up and stayed out of it.
That need to just shut up.
There's a lot of people that, there's a lot of people that, like, the reasoning why this podcast isn't about politics is because we don't know enough to discuss it constantly. Bringing it up because it's involving hockey, like players getting harassed, players losing jobs from it, like with CCM being banned. That's why we're bringing it up.
Yeah, that's not.
Stop pretending you know everything out for people that are harassing people and think they know what the exact answer is, because you don't. This is a way more complex situation than you could ever understand.
Yeah, and the other thing is
we know hockey and we know athletics.
Yeah, like sometimes we don't know the actual answer here. Like sometimes it's just like this is what's going on.
There is no answer.
We'll need to wait for this time frame and data to come in to actually know this. Like, sorry, we can't give you a concrete answer. We can give you an idea, but like it seems like once you get the idea, everybody just shoots fucking straight.
That's
with it.
the answer.
Like,
the idea is the answer to people, is the issue.
Actually going to be the answer, or what the end result is. It's just like, oh well, it might be this. So
well, and that's why like nobody can debate anymore. Like you can't bring up a premise of a potential idea.
Has no common knowledge towards it. It's just simply I'm saying whatever I feel, and it's not like actually logical.
And pretending it's right, and pretending it's fact too is a big issue.
And it is.
No, you're not wrong. People will bring up something like, "Oh, I love ketchup," and the other person will be like, "You hate mustard? What is wrong with you?"
That is, that's a good
you
one.
don't put mustard with ketchup? Are you like some sort of insane person? Like what?
You neo-Nazi! How could you?
Exactly.
Like, come
where
on.
did we get this? How did we go from I like ketchup to you're a neo-Nazi?
Yeah, man. No, it's so
because
true. That's a good way to...
the world likes to put people on their heels and force them to defend themselves, because if you get
Put
them
you
off
in
their
the-
heels, then you can make their answer wrong, seemingly, even if it's not. Like, yeah, whatever. Let's move off of it. I got one more thing of hockey news. Very disappointing news, but there's slight upside with it. Ivan Miroshnichenko was diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma.
Oh yeah, right.
However, it is the lowest case of the cancer, which is great. They found it early, obviously. It looks like he's going to be able to make a full recovery and be okay. But it's worth noting, this is a very highly touted prospect this year. Top 15 pick, at least, I would say, was touted.
Yeah.
Maybe even higher as top 10. So, no, just looking out for him. Another young kid. Just not getting the ability to play hockey this year. It's heartbreaking, frankly. We've had such a brutal, year and a half of hockey players losing through injury of whatever the case is, or illness, or...
Hey, there's good news, though. I thought I heard Archibald's trying to get back going.
Is he?
Yeah,
That's
some
awesome.
information on that.
Yeah,
cool.
nice.
Well,
sweet.
we will, let's bring that up after. Do we want to do the injury corner now? Because that's all my news, so we can slide into injury corner, or we can do the trade teams. So
let's hit that injury corner.
Let's do the injury corner.
Hit us with that Archibald news.
Oh, well, here, 1 second. Let me,
Wait.
He's playing.
Intro for injury corner. There you are, Jordan. What do you got for us?
All right, so we'll start with Josh Archibald. He is back to a clean slate of health after battling myocarditis, which I believe is something that affects the heart or the rhythm of the heart, if I'm correct.
Yeah, yeah.
However, there's still a negative to it. So he's back to clean health. He's able to play hockey. He is unvaccinated, or at least it's believed that he's unvaccinated. Obviously,
I think so.
So when we'll see him play and how much he'll play is probably going to be a down.
Will he not get an exemption? Like I know, I'm not saying they didn't give one Bertuzzi because he wasn't hurt. This is a serious condition. He's healthy. Yeah. Does that mean that this is still? Is he still at risk from getting the vaccine? Because if he's at risk, fuck the vaccine for him. For Josh Archibald, seriously, no. If he's at risk of taking it,
then it's not worth
it.
Then
don't take it. It's one person. Not a big deal, and affects their health. Bertuzzi, on the other hand, didn't affect his health. Then you can slap the book on him, right? So
no, it's certainly worth the conversation.
It's worth the conversation. Now, I just want to know if he's okay to get it, and it's the same. He's fully healthy. He needs it to play and stuff, and same with Bertuzzi. Then, I don't know what you gotta say. There's a lot of people. I didn't like being forced to get it either, but I was forced to get it like everyone else. So, not saying I wasn't gonna get it. It's just, yeah.
So you don't understand why we got vaccines, or what?
No. I don't like that they were forced on us. I'm not saying I got it. I was getting it. I don't like not having the ability to choose was my issue. Yeah, that is it. That is it. That is my only issue with it.
So heavily,
so
fast.
Which is why I would understand why you don't like it. If you're hesitant on something, especially medical wise, you should have the freedom of your own choice. We've had that our whole lives, so that's it.
You can understand that.
Not when it affects everybody.
Freedom of choice is number one. We're talking about Russia with it. Freedom of choice is number one, I think. Freedom of speech and choice and everything within the rules, obviously, I think is
to keep everybody healthy and safe.
Absolutely.
I'm not technically how it is, but no, I feel you. Yeah, absolutely. Just don't like the forcing of it. But let's move on to injuries. What else we got?
Yeah, we've got the first name is Biz. The Biz. So he did the river dance on national TV. He had Wayno gut busting, belly laughing. It was an awesome fucking dance. Do you have a clip of that?
I will pull it up right now.
Yeah, it was an absolute hilarious dance. So apparently, the next day, he had to get a 2.5-hour massage, and he thought he had popped his ACL again.
Yeah.
All because of doing the river dance on live national television.
Oh my god, it's so...
So I thought that was brilliant.
It was so funny.
Worth bringing up. Just because literally the guy had Wayne Gretzky belly laughing. How often have we seen that?
I know, right?
Just dancing around. It was great.
Oh my gosh, I can't.
And he looked so good. It looked like he practiced this.
It was amazing, and then he did the Dumb and Dumber dance after.
Yeah, he went off stage with the Dumb and Dumber dance.
Oh, it's so amazing. There we go.
While you
Just
bring that up, I'll
yeah,
give a
you
little
can.
bit of info to Miroshenko. We obviously just mentioned that he was diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma. As Rhylan said, it is believed to be early enough that it's a lower tier of the disease. It is believed that it's going to be wholly curable. He will miss, obviously, the rest of the season, and it's also believed he's going to miss the entirety of next season.
Yeah.
So that's a big blow.
Absolutely. I just pulling up right now, so there we go.
So here's the river dance.
I'll play it one more time. It's just a GIF, but
yeah. So that man have to go get a 2.5-hour massage, and he thought he popped his ears.
Yeah. Super funny.
Yeah.
I love
was so
Biz.
awesome.
He's like the
He's certainly
funniest
one of the
hockey
top
person
guys
out there.
in hockey media right now. More serious news though, we got Reimer. He'll be out week to week with an undisclosed lower body injury.
Yeah.
It was suffered in one of the games, I believe.
Guess that's why Sachenko's playing, hey?
Mm-hmm.
With him and Hill out, so
a tough one. Jujuhar Kiara, a nice player I like on Chicago. He's out 10 to 12 weeks after going through back surgery. So that's pretty shitty.
Yeah, that's rough. That's not a good time.
I've been a fan of him for a while. I liked what he brought to the depth of Chicago before he moved.
Sorry, did you say
Edmonton.
Did you say a timeline for that, by the way?
10 to 12 weeks.
Yeah, that's really sucky. Could have maybe got him.
Yeah.
Traded him or something.
And then 2 capital injuries. Sucks. We'll start with the lesser one. My guy, Joe fucking Snively. Virginia's own Joe Snively is out 4 to 6 weeks. He had to go through surgery to address the scaphoid bone in his left wrist. If you know what that means, you know what that means. If you don't, he had left wrist surgery.
There you go. Another guy injured, though.
The more serious of the two is Carl Hagelin. He'll be out indefinitely currently. We're not sure anything about it. He had a very serious eye injury. He had surgery that went well, but currently there's a worry about his vision.
Oh, shit. That's not good.
So that's a big blow because obviously there's no idea on when he'll return because quite simply it just comes down to
his vision.
If his vision is hurt, if...
Damn, that's really tough. Coming to the end of his career.
Really
what happened to his eye? Did he get a stick or... I didn't see it, so...
I'm not certain. You can look it up quickly to see if there was.
I'll look it up. I'll see if I can find out.
That's it for the injuries, but the returns you mentioned, Ehlers came back.
Yep.
Okay, so the eye injury happened at practice when a stick caught him in the eye.
Shit, man, that's rough. That sucks so much. Yeah, hopefully he's back soon. Is that all you got for us? Because
one more after Nick Ehlers returning. The Anthony Mantha returns from back surgery.
Yep. I got one more too. We got a bit of Carey Price news a little bit as he's skating right now. Still working. Still no timeline for him to return. But I did see a clip of him actually skating, sliding side to side in the net and stuff like that. And
excellent news.
He's definitely getting back. To being an NHL
goalie. And he's working harder than ever to rehab that, right?
Absolutely.
So that's huge news.
Huge news. Hopefully he can come back for... I mean, I'd like to see him this year a little bit. Like, play... Even if it's 5 games at the end of the year. I want him fully healthy, obviously. Yeah. I would just like to see Price play this year. Wherever it's a happy story. I want to know he's good going into next year. I want to see him play and play decent going next year. It'd be ideal scenario, obviously, for Montreal fans. But that's all we got for injury news. So...
Yep.
Shall we jump into our trade team discussion, I guess, before we get into Chase's armchair? I think we should start with Chase since you have to finish off the podcast. So I'll throw it to you to start. You're muted again, Chase. Chase, you're muted.
You're muted, buddy.
So
Good. It's probably a good thing. What do you want to hear? Do you want to hear some Red Wings, or do you want to hear a little bit on Calgary?
Don't matter to me. I'm fine with some.
I mean, I like Calgary talks.
Okay, I'll just go with Calgary because there's just not much to talk about, obviously, because they already made their one big move to help their top 9.
Yeah.
But they could make another one to help
Defense.
this team out a little bit.
I don't think they're quite done, so I certainly agree.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what they do on defense, if they do anything, just because that's been working so well. Like, this team is cap strapped.
I'd like to see a depth defender come in. I loved what Zadorov has brought, but I do think that they could probably fit another guy into.
They could go with they could go with like a 7th D man. Honestly, they just need like maybe an extra guy. I feel that
that's exactly what I think.
Because like they have that Michael Stone. That's the name that I was thinking. So like it's not that I hate him or don't like him or something, but get a guy with a little bit more veteran experience. I don't know. It could be improved. It kind of more depends on like how your defense plays. You almost want somebody other than Michael Stone as that replacement if possible. But yeah, I wouldn't see them paying too much for that. They'll be using deep next year after picks for whatever that is.
Right.
But what they'll really be looking for is to shore up this depth on that, make that 4th line a 4th line, because it's the only thing that's not really a line. Ruzicka tends to make it a line for a bit, and then somebody else makes it a line for a bit, and they haven't found anything that sticks. So the big thing I'm looking at with Calgary is what happens with Dylan Dubé, how much they trust Dylan Dubé, and where they go forward with Dylan Dubé. Because if they want to, the way I see it is he's not playing at peak performance, and you just can't have that for this year. Like the way it's going, like it's
I agree.
You're going for the cup here. You want somebody for sure going to be doing, and you know what they're doing for you, and not like hope that Dubé ends up doing whatever you need him to do. And he's got that 2.3 cap hit, so
that's nice.
Guys I'm looking at, like I won't go to replacing him yet. I'll just bring up guys that can come in with him in, and that's like a guy I like is Johan Larsson. I don't know if they might have to pay somebody else to retain him half, because Zona probably won't be able to. But we're just talking deep picks here, so it shouldn't be too much of a worry. But that would help their depth quite a bit. Might even be able to play alongside Monahan and Toffoli. What do you guys think of that?
I like the idea of moving on from Dubé. He's kind of the odd man out. He makes some money. He's going to get paid. He's got some value being at his age, because he's like, what, 24? 23?
23, yeah.
23, so...
But also move on from Monahan.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
that
that's the
way
other big
more of
one.
A hard one to do. I think that's off-season, unfortunately.
I think that's going to an off-season, though I do agree. I think they should almost do that right now, but
needs to be off-season.
It's the fact that they brought Toffoli in, who played with Monahan when they were young, so it's kind of... It seems strange for them to give up on it for 1 year.
They're playing really well together.
Like, I think you give them this year, but yet, like I said earlier with Dubé, like...
Yeah, next year
you're just gonna try it out for this year, going for the cup. You just spent like...
No,
I don't know. It seems weird, but you should have the next year at least to do so. So I guess maybe you just wait this out and just pick up like a Johan Larsson or something like that. He's a guy that I just love for so many teams. He's so useful. Can win some face-offs for you.
I like him too.
And he's cheap, obviously.
Good on the wing and the center.
Yeah, exactly. Nice and cheap. Another guy would be, since he doesn't have much money either, is Marcus Johansson. I feel like he could help with that, because basically they're trying to create a good scoring 3rd line, right? Or they're trying to make their 4th line awesome. So I don't mind it, but I don't love it. I feel like Toffoli can be more of the workhorse on the line in that sense, which would be a little bit different. Yeah. But not really, because they have Lucic on that line right now, trying to be that more corner workhorse for them.
I have a name for Calgary that might fit. Now, the issue with it might be the price of the player. But Nick Delorier is $1 million.
Yeah, he's
1 year, 30 years old, really good presser. really, really good. I wonder if that's a name that teams like that should really push.
Yeah, he would be one definitely that they would love to get their hands on.
Like I said, he might be worth a first, which is a lot.
Yes, but he's not like he's not good enough for this year's first, possibly though.
Yeah.
And that's something Calgary could do. So that's what I kind of think towards that. So I do like that option. It's a great option. The other option that goes with that type of player is Nick Paul on Ottawa. Same sort of cap hit with like Johan Larsson and these guys.
Yeah, 1.5.
Just a shit disturber, can put the puck in the net. I think he'd be great. Nick Paul, Monahan, and Toffoli. I think that'd be pretty good. That'd be pretty nice. And the reason I'm bringing up guys to go on that line is because I think you can make the fourth line work with all the guys you have, with Dubé and Lucic playing fourth line with like a Ruzicka or a Lewis or a who the hell, I don't know. Like I said, it almost seems destined for Dubé to get moved here.
I think so,
but I don't know if they'll do it.
I feel like if you're a team like that's obviously not very good, you should be like calling Calgary saying, "Hey, take my D-man, take my forward, and I want Dubé. Like, give me Dubé." Like I wonder if you can make a swap.
Something I've brought up with before was to the 70s line, getting the 70s line kind of back together, bringing in Tanner Pearson from Vancouver for Dubé, because Dubé's a BC guy. It all makes all the sense. It's just that the money doesn't really make sense. So
I like Pearson actually on that line. I wonder if that'd be a really good third liner for him. But like you said, just makes
like a lot of this talk, it just feels like it's just not gonna happen. It's easier to do in the off season. So like I said, I'm like they're going for it this year. It seems like they're going all for it, and I heard they're not done.
No.
But like, does that mean they're just not done by like, they're just gonna grab like Johan Larsson or like Riley Nash and some shit? Like, I don't know. I don't know if they're going.
I don't know. I hear rumblings on lefty, right? I hear
it's Dubé. If they're gonna like actually do something, like it sounds like they're trying to actually push again for another guy other than just Toffoli. I think Dubé's out and somebody dope is in. I don't know who though.
Yeah, and either a pick with them.
And I wonder if they go for the guy to play on that line as a left winger, or if they just let Lucic or Dubé work it out. And I wonder if they go for that position, or if they just go for a good fourth line centerman. Because I think they could. That might be the best option, is just to go for a fourth line centerman.
Yeah, no, there's definitely some teams out there that could.
So that's my Calgary needs and questions, because it's a lot of more how hard they only have 2 first-round picks right now, or sorry, 2 second-round picks and like a 5th-round pick and a 7th-round pick this year. So they have like piss all to work with. That it's just easier to make deals when you have this year's picks, and that's just as simple as that. But they have those 2. And they have Dubé as a weapon, and I'm pretty sure you could trade Dubé for a pretty decent 1-year
I think you
UFA
could get,
piece.
You could definitely get a rental out of it for sure. If I'm trading, if I'm Arizona and I'm like, I should be looking at like, hey, can I snag a Dubé out? Like, crazy as it sounds, like, are Calgary interested in a really cheap Kessel? Like us 50% and then someone else 50% for Dubé in it, like. Maybe you do, and then like Arizona pays for
doesn't he?
Nick Paul.
Didn't that Nick Paul play center sometimes?
Center, left wing.
Man, like exactly, get him and that Delorier. Like, fuck me.
Delorier is a name I've been looking.
Those 2 guys. That would be a scary Flames team.
It definitely would be. No, I like it.
Please.
Cool. I'll jump in with mine then real quick here. For me, I went for it. This team, similar to Calgary, I guess. Like, I really went for it, and I went with Florida Panthers. I think they just seem destined to really make a big splash. So, I went with the biggest splash you can make, and I did get Chychrun. Because I think it makes the most sense, man. Like, they need... If you can get him as Florida right now and get... That is your left D being Weegar, Chychrun, Forsling. It's over on that left side. Like, then you got that Tampa left side type where it's just perfect. So I start off with that. I trade for Chychrun and a 50% retained Jay Beagle for some depth. Now, I may have overpaid for this, but I'm trying to keep it high value because I think that's what he's going to go for. I gave up Owen Tippett, Grigory Denisenko, Evan Noss, who's one of Florida's best defensive prospects. He was a 2nd-round pick of 2 drafts ago, I think it was. This year's our 2023 first round pick, and I threw in a third, but I don't know if I need the third or not for 50% Beagle and Chikrin, but I added extra because I got the depth and Beagle with it. So
yeah.
Thoughts on that trade? Is it pretty fair?
I like it.
Do I need to add more?
The package that they would be getting.
You're muted again, Chase. I fear. You're muted again. Sorry, man.
Just thinking to myself here, but
no
worries.
Like I said, it's and like if I have to add more, I probably would. Like I think Florida should just go for it. Go for it with Chikrin.
Yeah, certainly.
They're in the best position, I think, out of most teams, except for maybe like an LA. But I think
so. You gave them Tippett and Chikrin, or Tippett and Denisenko.
Yeah, and Naus and a first. So a lot. I gave up a lot, but like I said, Chikrin's going for a lot.
Yeah, we know the package for Chikrin will be.
Well, and I also think of it like Tyler Toffoli, basically a deal that was somewhat similar would be not basically take out Tippett and Denisenko, and that's the Toffoli trade alone. Mm-hmm. So I'm thinking Denisenko and Tippett should push it for them with everything else.
Mm-hmm.
Tippett's so good too, right? Like Tippett could be a real superstar power forward, or not? Maybe not superstar.
I really
power
like
forward,
those guys.
So do I.
I do like those guys.
I really do. I didn't want to trade them, but I think you have to trade both of those two if you're not giving Lundell or Spencer Knight.
And yeah, they've straight up said that Knight is untouchable. They won't move Knight.
And I don't see how you can trade Lundell. I think he's more untouchable to me. I think he's like
you gave him a first round pick too, or what?
Yeah.
This year?
Next year. 23. I don't have this year's first actually because it's in Buffalo for Sam Reinhart. Sorry. So it's a lot. It's a lot.
You knew that, right?
Yeah,
so I like it.
But basically, what I'm going with is I'm going for it. I have other trades too. Like this is my only trade. So
I'm just wondering, like, I just want to know what they'll actually accept, hey, because I'm sure they're trying to get like
a number one prospect
that they're like, oh yeah, buddy,
the best prospect they have.
So like,
I agree.
These are good pieces, but they're good pieces. They're not like a partial anchor, which maybe that's what they're looking for, hey, because like you're giving up an anchor on defense, and you're probably trying to at least get somebody who should turn into an anchor, whether they do or not.
That's fair.
And I know. So go ahead.
Yeah,
it's not bad. Obviously,
I just thought
it's a lot. So like,
it's a lot of different pieces, and this is like Florida's top value gone. Pretty much.
What I've said about Zona several times, it's more like what the GM wants to do. Like, do you just want one great guy, or you're a certain guy that you want, or do you want like I said, whole bunch of prospects? You can just go to Boston and just take like 7 different pieces and slowly sell them over the next 2 years, and you're laughing or whatever. Like you could do that, but like what does that GM want to do? Like I love that they have interviews and shit like this, but they don't say a damn word about their actual ideas about like what they're thinking about at all. It's just like, oh yeah, we're looking for these types of pieces.
Yeah,
like wow.
I don't know. I think they want teams to be creative so that they have to get weird offers.
Well, yeah, because then it brings more options.
It brings more options.
Maybe opens your eyes to things you didn't realize were there. Right.
So absolutely. Like I said, I just given up as much as I can for it. Moving on. This is one I really struggle with the trade because I don't know his value whatsoever. And funny enough, you just brought him up on your team. So I went and I got Nick Paul for Florida because I think he'd be a perfect third liner for the Panthers with Lundell and Reinhart.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm giving up Vetrano, a third in 2023, a fourth in 2023, and a fifth in 2022. I don't know if that's enough. Like Vetrano's good.
To another fourth.
Sure. Yeah, I'm too old with that. I'll give 2 fourths and a third and Vetrano for Paul.
That'd probably do it for me if I'm.
I understand if you need a second too for him. Like I do. I'm just trying to. Would you take Noel? Would Ottawa take like Noel or something like that?
Probably.
Like I don't know. Like
Akari. Achari or whatever.
Yeah, well, I looked at Achari and they could take him. but I kind of like him as an extra depth piece. And I the money works by just getting rid of Vetrano, but I have to get rid of Vetrano.
Yeah, but
in some deal,
moving. I think
he's moving. I will. Yeah, I'll move him for like anything. Frankly, if this Nick Paul trade, they don't want Vetrano at all, like, and they're dead set no Vetrano, let's say. Then just I'll trade picks for Paul, and I'll trade Vetrano anywhere for anything.
Yep.
Exactly. Vetrano's in a deal, and if I want to throw him in Arizona, I'll throw him to Arizona. Like,
because his money needs to go.
I'll just add him to the trade and just take him for free. It's an extra player to play. So, yeah. So just get Nick Paul.
Yeah, definitely interested what Nick Paul's worth is going to be when he
I
can haul a second or like some thirds or.
And the issue is I didn't want to give up a second because my picks for 2022 and 2023 in the first 3 rounds, I only have a second in 2023. Like going for it. This year. And then I made one very, very small trade, one Jordan and I made together right before the pod. I traded with Buffalo, trading Jonas Johansson and a 6th round pick for Craig Anderson because I wanted better backup than Johansson if Spencer Knight isn't good enough. Just extra depth.
No, that's understandable.
And get a 6th round pick of it and a 26-year-old goalie. I think that's a great deal for Buffalo, frankly. So, like I said, didn't really do much too crazy, but I went for it with Florida because I think they should.
They're in that position.
There's about 5 teams I got where like you could throw the kitchen sink out, and I wouldn't disagree with you.
Yeah.
To get these big players, so especially with Chikrin staying long term. So
no doubt.
I'll throw it to you, Jordan. You can finish off this segment.
The Capitals goaltending situation, something that's been brought up a lot.
Before you get into it, can I just clear that my opinion is don't do anything. I don't think you should do anything. I really don't. I don't think there's a point to do anything. No point of wasting picks or anything unless it's like helping you future-wise contract guys. But I just wanted to say that quick. Sorry.
That's fair.
So
I don't know.
I didn't come up with specific trades, but there were 2 goaltenders that I thought I would like to see in the Capitals if we could make it work, and that would be Varlamov or Antti Ranta.
Yeah, I like those 2 as well.
I like Varlamov a lot, especially.
He's got term. Now, what would you give up for it? Like, obviously the goalie's got to go. A goalie. You can't have 3 of those guys. Especially when Vanecek's better than Samsonov, and he would be the one sent down if you did, because you'd have to. So,
I think I would rather give up Samsonov now because Samsonov has more value right now.
Fair, that's fair.
And if it ends up being that Varlamov is like a stud for us, I think Vanecek would be happier being his like B as opposed to Sammy, who definitely wants to be a starting netminder. That's his goal.
And Vanecek can take over in 2 years, 3 years, like sooner rather than later. That's fair. So
that's my mindset on it. Just that I think we can get more out of Sammy.
Yeah, I wonder that too.
But I don't want either to go. Like, ideally, to me, we just bring in a guy and we keep both of them because they're both good. It's just
I feel like the worst part about this is there's a very high % chance that you're gonna make the wrong move by making a move. But at the same time, there's a very high % chance you're gonna have a very bad season in the playoffs if you don't make a goalie move.
Yeah.
Like, it's so tough being Washington.
Myself, I'm willing to risk it. I am.
I think I would be willing to risk.
I think somebody else show up.
I think I'm willing to risk it this year. If they don't show up at all and we lose first round again, I'm done with one of the goalies. I need a goalie at that point. You got to get Ovi a chance to win a cup again. You got to.
Similar to you, I wouldn't mind bringing in like a Craig Anderson type, like a guy that if we're really out of options, we can throw him in and be like, all right, breath us.
That's a good point.
No doubt.
Craig Anderson did it last year's playoffs. We threw him in because of injuries, and Craig Anderson performed.
He actually wasn't that bad. So
he was not that bad.
No, I agree. I'm leaning more towards Samsonov because of the whole. At first, I thought he like Chase. Chase explained it perfect. I think 2 pods ago or whatever, where he's like he looks young. Samsonov. He looks like a very young goalie,
Yeah.
and I agree with that. And
which is very common of Russians.
very
right?
common in goalies coming into the NHL.
Yeah.
And I thought he would like snap out of it a lot faster, at least more than he has. And after last playoffs, like you bringing up Anderson just brought back the flashbacks of Ovi yelling at Samsonov and why they lost that overtime game because he wasn't paying attention. And Craig Smith beat a Washington defenseman to the puck and wrapped it around. Like, I'm leaning more and more, and you give a second to keep Vanacek, like, unless you can get at least that back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I'm leaning.
Yeah, I just find that it's such a dicey situation.
It's such a dicey situation.
I
think
there really isn't a clear answer. There isn't like, okay, let's go get this guy. That's our solution.
I think there's no answer.
The answer might actually be to just literally like is Vanacek. I thought I asked, is Vanacek, can he go down?
Yes, he can go down.
Yeah, and you don't really want him to go down.
The issue is you want the other one to go down.
To just have 3 goalies, and you just got 3 goalies sitting there just in case. Like I said, I think it's just don't think about it and just hope it works.
You only wish Samsonov could go down. Like if he's the one who is two-way.
If Samsonov gets traded for a really good goalie, then I'm okay with it. Otherwise, I don't want to see a goaltending change.
Yeah, that's fair.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm the Islanders and Washington calls me saying I want Varlamov and I'll give you Samsonov, I'm like, okay, let's make a deal
where they're okay with that.
I would sit there and be like, let's make a deal. Let's do something, get something out of this, because Vanacek, you have 2 young Russian goalies potentially as 1A, 1B. Sorokin's good enough to be starting. No, trading Samsonov too.
No, I'm saying that they're not Russian. I'm saying Vanacek is from the Czech Republic.
Yeah, I'm saying Samsonov is Russian and Sorokin is Russian.
I see what you're saying.
I'm saying the Islanders getting. Yeah. I'm not talking the other way around. Yeah, no, sorry. I'm talking the Islanders wouldn't hate. I feel like the Islanders wouldn't hate getting Samsonov. Having Samsonov and Sorokin, because I think Sorokin can be the number 1. And then Washington gets the solidified now and a future in Vanacek. So, yeah, I don't hate that deal. I feel like I'd want something else other than just Varlamov with Samsonov.
Me too. I would want more.
But I don't know how much you can get, so it's tough. Very, very tough. But is that all you got for it? Just those 2 goalies?
That's what I got.
I like Ranta, but I don't know if you can get him for cheap.
Yeah, Ranta's the money issue, right?
Carolina can get rid of him for sure, but he's playing really good hockey. I think you could get something decent for him. And I don't think you'd want to pay that much for an anti-Ranta.
Not overly.
Is the issue?
Well, he's got a whole other year old anti.
Yeah, he does, which is nice.
He's
but
got the term.
It's the injuries too with antis. So, but anyways, that's all we got for this trade segment. Get ready. Should we jump in to your armchair there, Chase? And
oh yeah, buddy.
Got that Winnipeg Jets in for us.
I do have the Winnipeg Jets.
So how many first-round picks did you get for Andrew Kopp? No, I'm just kidding.
Oh,
continue.
3 first-round picks, dog.
14.
And Dustin Byfuglien comes out of retirement in a shock year.
Yeah, shock move. Dustin Byfuglien comes back.
The old Jets signed David Krejci for the playoff run. There we go.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Let's go.
So I will start with, since you brought up Cobb, I'll start with him because of the fact that I think you have to move on from him.
It's
as simple
sad.
as you just can't.
I have a theory of what I do, or not theory. I have an idea of what I personally do, and it's cheesy, but it'll work. I trade Cobb to the most cap-stringed team that can take him, and hope as fuck they don't re-sign him, and I re-sign him in the offseason. Because I love Kopp. I love Andrew Kopp as a middle 6 winger, center,
the only way I see me being able to keep Kopp in this is if I could just simply give away Nate Schmidt like Nate Schmidt was given away 2 times before. And for some reason, I just don't think that's going to... I don't think one team will give you a 3rd-round pick for Nate Schmidt this time. I don't think that's going to happen. I really don't. I don't know why. I don't know why.
Fool me once.
I'm not saying he's not good and he's not worth it or something like that, but I don't know if that trade's gonna be there this offseason.
This trade didn't look good for anyone involved. That trade to Winnipeg.
But yeah, it's just you have to somehow find a way to just completely shed like so much money to keep Kopp around. And it's it's like you said, how many first round picks can you get for Andrew Cobb? But anyways, let's get to my trade deadline, boys. I'm taking you to the Colorado Avalanche first because the boy Paul Stastny going back home, boys. Send Paul Stastny to the Colorado Avalanche. I retain 50%, and I pay somebody else a 6th round pick to retain that 50% and send them to Colorado so they can actually afford them and bring in their Giroux and all that bullshit that they're gonna do. So yeah, I just end up with next year's Colorado 2nd round pick because Colorado doesn't have anything at all. So
that's awesome to get a 2nd round pick out of Colorado.
Yeah, so I get a 2nd round pick out of Colorado. That basically was the Devin Tays deal, I believe, or however the hell that worked.
You Stastny in a 6th, basically. So that's wicked.
Yeah, I'll take a 2nd.
Yeah, so that's all nice and dandy. Let's get to the big, the 2nd biggest trade, I guess you could say. I go to Vegas, like you said. You give Cop to a team that can't afford him. Vegas introduce half retained Andrew Cop.
Yeah, I love
guess
that.
who I'm getting back, boys?
Dad Knob.
The only fucking guy I really want back is Nolan Patrick.
Oh.
Give me fucking Nolan Patrick or I will walk away. That's fucking I have this deal. This is the deal. This is the deal that I actually have. But this is just how I would feel as the GM. I'd obviously try to get more, but I would want Nolan Patrick at the very least. So I have Nolan Patrick and Daniil Miromanov. Now you don't know who that is because I didn't know who that was either.
I don't know who that is.
He is a right-handed D-man.
Nice.
Star, 1 point. He's like 2nd on the team for the AHL Henderson Silver Kings on points. He is 2nd in the team. This guy is
in points.
Technically a partial.
Oh shit! I thought you meant by D-man, like in points.
No,
like,
on the team.
On that team. Shit.
On that AHL Vegas team. He's 2nd in points, and he looks great. He's got offensive capability. He's a bigger guy. He was not picked, I don't believe, from what I remember. Honestly, I don't think he was picked. I should double check that.
What's his name again? Sorry.
Danil Miromanov.
Miromanov, a 6'4" Russian defenseman, right-handed. Interesting.
Yeah, he's skate pretty good. He's 24 years old. So what I'm kind of looking for in this is I see that a lot of their defense that they have going on in Winnipeg land that's coming up, other than like Hanola, are pretty defensive guys like a Dylan Sandberg and stuff like that.
Sandberg's
Declan Chisholm or whatever his name is. So I thought this would be a good snag, and I thought I could get him for a half retained Cop with Nolan Patrick.
I wonder if you'd get more.
Honestly. I know.
I think you can get a
originally pick. I had Cop and this year's 2nd round pick out of Vegas. That's what I originally had.
I like the D-man.
Like, I don't need a pick really. No. I need somebody that could probably help me, but I'd probably be okay going either way.
Bit of bad news for your trade. Vegas really likes Nolan Patrick.
I know.
I can't remember which of their coaches, but one of them coached him a while ago and is a really big fan of Nolan Patrick. So
maybe you won't be able to get anything.
I don't know if they're gonna want to move him.
That's why when I said I'm going into the trade, like I really want only at least.
I wanting him. I just don't know if they will move him.
I feel like if you retain 50% and
I think you can get away with it.
I would accept that if I'm Vegas. I accept that in a heartbeat because I want to win.
I'm also willing to give you Dominic Toninato because he has an extra year on his contract at $750K.
Sure.
And talk about gold for Vegas,
Yeah,
so,
I love that.
like you said, maybe I can get more, and that's something I could boost up to.
I'm sure it could be negotiated. I just know personally, Vegas like Nolan Patrick.
Yeah. I want that Winnipeg boy.
Yeah, I know.
Brandon Weedking, he's from Winnipeg. I want him. Give him to me. He's right-handed. Boy,
funny
it's
enough,
something they need so bad.
I like how you say that, Jordan, that they love Patrick, and I get it. I know he's got the talent. I trade that.
But-
I make that trade in a
Vegas
heartbeat.
wins, right?
I know I personally
Vegas
Vegas
wins.
wins, right?
Vegas wins that
Vegas
trade in a
wins with that,
heartbeat
right?
to me.
I
Like,
personally
they win the
do as
cup.
well,
They have
but
to.
I just know from what I've heard,
Mhm.
the Vegas coaches do like Nolan Patrick, and they think they see a lot out.
so do
Well, that's
I.
not good
but
to hear, because
I,
then that means I'm not getting much more than Nolan Patrick, probably.
yeah.
No, I agree. I would
Is-
do the trade
now,
as well because
this
I
is-
like winning now over having Nolan Patrick.
I have a question separate. Is there a plan B trade hypothetically? Now it doesn't have to be with Vegas. Do you have any like other ideas, even if another team,
Yeah,
to
Calgary.
get something and you'd want prospects,
Calgary would do it.
or would you want like what do you
Calgary.
want out of it? Do you want a young player? Do you want?
I need somebody, like, I want to win the cup soon. Like, I need Nolan Patrick. I need somebody that's going to
So
do something.
you
like,
want a
soon.
young
Like, that's
guy
why I
who's
picked up
got some upside.
That's why I asked for that Daniil Miromanov. That's why I put him in the deal, because he could actually help my team. If I get too cap strapped and stuff later on, I could pull him up and he might be able to provide offense for me or something. And
how would you
like,
feel
I need help
about
more
like an Owen Tippett
now-ish.
for Cop? Like, if they're willing to do something like that, is
Yeah,
that something you're
I'd be
interested?
down with that.
Okay, yeah, it's just something like that. The only reason I say that is because if Vegas is dead
I'd be-
set on keeping him, and I mean I'm personally scared off by his injuries, unless I get
No,
him for,
that's
unless I get him for
literally-
nothing, I'm so scared of that personally. Which I mean I know the upside, I really do, but I'm not willing to gamble my with myself.
We've
but
seen plenty
that's
of athletes with a major upside lose their careers to
Mhm.
injuries.
And on
Yeah,
on the flip side, we've definitely seen guys. Brad Marchand dropped hard in the draft and is arguably the best Bruin of all time.
Yeah,
our
so
top
basically
five.
my
So
thought towards it was that he's a hometown boy, and if there's anything that's going to work out, it's going to be going home and trying to make it work, I think.
yeah,
So
I
just felt
like it.
There's got to be enough positivity in this situation for him that maybe this is the best place that gets him going again.
Yeah.
But
like I said, I like it as long as Vegas doesn't like.
As long as
kill
Vegas
me.
isn't like we want Nolan
We
Patrick
need to
it.
keep him.
Yeah.
If they're dead
I
set
can
on
see-
keeping him, then I'd probably walk away.
I can also see Vegas saying, "No, we found that Miromanov. We ain't giving
Yeah,
it to him."
that's true too. I don't see why they'd want to trade him unless they're getting a real player. But Cop is a real player. I don't know.
That's
$2 million Cop in the playoffs
It's
is
certainly the
stupid.
real deal.
That's unfair to every team. So
Yeah.
I mean,
bargain and a half.
like we're also talking about a guy who could be like the most important playoff guy on a team that he gets traded to, based on style.
PK dog.
He's a PK guy. He's great defensive. He can win draws. He's got some snarl. He fights in the corners. Like, there's nothing not to like about Cop. That, yeah, I like it. Sorry,
Okay, yeah,
I think
we'll move off
let's
on
move
the old
off.
Cop speed.
Let's move off on Cop.
Yeah, so trade was just basically Cop retained 1.82 mil for Nolan Patrick and Daniil Miromanov.
Yep.
Change it to this year's second. I'd be okay with that, and that would give me my 2 second-round picks that I traded for Brendan Dillon to replenish those if I wanted to go that route. But
Just
let's
trade
go
Dillon.
to that guy. Let's go to
thank
that
God.
guy, Brendan Dillon. I had to trade him.
Send him away. For a bag
Did
of
you know
pucks.
Brendan Dillon's the best player on this, best defenseman on this team? 5-on-5, on ice, goals for percentage. Brendan Dillon's the best defenseman on this Winnipeg Jets team.
I'm not surprised. Their defense has been terrible.
Yeah. Morrissey's having a super off year.
Morrissey has been the most disappointing defenseman I've seen this year in the NHL because he's not even playing like top 4 guy right now. Pionk's playing fine, but he's an offensive guy. He gets points, and that's all he's not all he's good for. But
he has a lot on his shoulders. Is what
Pionk
it
has.
is. He would look so much better if he didn't have the world on his shoulders.
Absolutely.
Okay, so let's get into this deal. I'm going to the Anaheim Ducks, buddy. I'm interested with Rhylan here because this is his favorite second team or his secret team.
His secret crush.
I just love how they play.
I want Hampus Lindholm. I'm making a big move because I need Hampus Lindholm. This defense has to fucking get better. They're not getting away from this. Like I gotta do this.
With an extension, or are you? Gambling?
Yep, he comes with an extension. I give him $40 million for 6 years.
He's coming with a big price tag too. I'm letting you know that. As an Anaheim, I mean,
$40 million over 6 years. I sign him for, which is $6.66666 million.
Yeah, that's fine. That's a lot of money. Actually,
yeah.
I wonder if you get him for 6.
More.
Could you get him for 6?
6.5.
for long term.
I'm Winnipeg, man.
That's fair.
I'm Winnipeg.
No,
he
that's a
probably
good point.
doesn't want to play on my team.
That's a good point. Good point. Fair enough. All right, continue.
I also didn't give him 8, so because then he could maybe have a life after and play somewhere he wants to play. So yeah, I get Hampus Lindholm and I get Derek Grant half retained. He's at 1.5 mil, so I half retain him, so he's at a league min deal, and he's on an extension, so he's got next year's contract too.
Really good. Really
now, is this enough to make you happy? Because
I'm
Dillon,
thinking of 3.
I give you Brendan Dillon and a first round pick. I'm giving you this year's 22 first round pick, so you get your fucking first round pick for Hampus Lindholm, and I give you 2 years, actually 2.5 years of Brendan Dillon. Because he's got a contract for the next 2 years, that exact same amount of Shattenkirk. In all reality, the guy's fucking perfect to stay on this team until he retires. Because you have Drysdale, you have that Gooley guy that should come up some point and be the top 4 guy and push him down. I think this is literally Anaheim's getting the best of both worlds here. They're getting a defenseman to replace Hampus Lindholm, and they're getting a first round pick, which they were going to get any which way they traded this guy.
Oh, this is
and it's a Winnipeg first round pick that might not even be in the playoffs.
I know. I'm thinking.
I like it.
How do you decline it?
I'm thinking. I'm trying to find an answer.
Is it
for
just
you.
because Derek Grant is retained half 50%? Because that is the biggest reason why I would decline it if I was Anaheim.
That might be. No, what's crazy? No, what's the biggest reason I might be against it?
That gives me so much. That gives me so much to get Derek Grant $750K for this year, next year. It is like the biggest gem in the world for the Jets, because it's one thing, this team is just a glaring hole. They don't have that guy that gets it done day in and day out on that fourth line and handles that fourth line for him. And this fixes, this hopefully fixes quite a bit of problems for me. Because I think I know Brendan Dillon's, like I said, he's been a better team, better player, but
what you've said has made sense. They get a guy that they can replace him with, and they get the first that they're ultimately gonna get for him.
I mean, I'm instantly like, I want to, like, I'm getting this player from you asking for him already because you already offered him up. I want that Tenato guy just to play 4 or 5 minutes almost, just as a replacement, having him back next year. Would you do that? Add him in it?
Maybe. I actually might, because he is.
Because like he's on a good contract.
Technically,
I might
that's kind of who he's filling in.
Yeah.
And I have several other guys.
Harkins. Know who I would absolutely adore is Jansen Harkins.
If you wanted Jansen Harkins, I would 100% give you Jansen Harkins, because I've kind of given up on him.
I kind of like Jansen Harkins as a depth
you
guy.
have the money to sign him to more than whatever, and maybe use him.
I like Harkins. I think
one thing I noticed with this Winnipeg team is it got difficult when it came to the bottom 6, as in who do you actually play? Who's actually going to play? Who are your guys on this fourth line? That was a tough spot, because there's a lot of guys. They have a lot of random guys, Pagansky and this guy and that guy.
You know what? I'm gonna say this: if you trade Kopp before you trade for Lindholm, I make that deal. Absolutely,
I did.
Yeah, I know you did. That's why I'm saying, like, if the timeline continues out that way, I do that, because that pick, I think, will be a non-playoff team. It will be a very late non-playoff team, I think. Because I think the West is just so good right now. It's gonna be hard for Winnipeg. I accept it, because you're worse without Kopp. You may be better with Lindholm in a way, but I think your 5-on-5 might struggle still when Lindholm isn't on the ice. I think your depth's gonna struggle without Kopp. I make that deal, because I can get a 10 to 15 overall pick. If possibly, hopefully.
Yeah,
so yes, as long as I haven't signed Lindholm. If I've signed Lindholm, I want to keep him. So
yeah, exactly.
Okay, so
move on.
Let's move to my last deadline deal. And I ummed and awed about making this a deadline deal, but I felt I kind of have to. I did what we talked about last episode. I traded Nate Schmidt for Jeff Petrie.
Nice.
Except to make it happen, I gave Montreal a 2023 third-round pick.
Interesting.
And I made them take Nathan Beaulieu as well, if they want him. If they don't, I don't really have to put him in there. I also get like a 7th-round pick this year from St. Louis. So Jeff Petrie and a 7th round pick this year for Nate Schmidt, and next year's third.
Montreal.
What was that?
Would you do another third to Montreal? Like stack on another third, even if it's like
Nope.
a late year? No.
2026.
If I'm Montreal, we discussed this trade.
Honestly,
yeah.
I don't give a fuck.
We discussed this trade a couple days ago, like you said, and again, I like this trade for both teams. I don't see a downside for either team because I think Nate Schmidt will actually be a very good Montreal Canadian.
Yeah, me too.
Funny enough.
Yeah,
Montreal,
I would 100% offer
because they're in that kind of position.
Yeah,
I would 100% offer the the swap and then see if they accept it. If they don't, then I'd offer them the 3rd round pick and be like,
I do that.
This guy.
And if I'm Montreal, I don't disagree because I think you might be able to get something better out of Schmidt.
Montreal,
I'd
try to haggle even like a 7th at the minimum.
Oh yeah, you haggle what you can to get what you can.
No, I absolutely agree. At the base, the deal is done.
Schmidt. When's Schmidt up? Is he up next?
They're both
after
up at the same
year?
time.
Oh, are
They're
they?
both up at the same time. They have 3. So after this year, it'd be another 3 years.
That's not ideal, obviously, being in our 3 years. I thought he was only like a cup, not another 3. So
yeah, they both have the exact same deal basically, except Schmidt's like $300,000 cheaper. So I'm taking on a 34-year-old Jeff Petrie who is right-handed and does a lot of things that
he's good.
Does not do, and I need that on this team.
No, I like the Petrie. I'm not umming and awing actually about the Petrie to Winnipeg.
Yeah, okay, well then I'll give you guys.
I think that's fine. I think they would love a Jeff Petrie.
Yeah,
I'll give you I'll give you the roster I got then going into for the rest of this year, I guess. So one, Nolan Patrick's not on my team because he's hurt. It's just how it is. You got to deal with that. That's the bullet you bite.
Nolan Patrick.
It's the bullet you take. That's why I'm assuming you can get a 2nd round pick and like a decent prospect.
I'm assuming, but they also gave up Cody Glass for him. Like, it's
just I guess I'll just go to the defense because the forwards don't change at all. I just have Derek Grant as my 4th line center. So just nice addition there. Yeah, other than that, it's Perfetti and Svechnikov and Vesline, and you're leaning on to hopefully bring some offense with the big boys. I got Hampus Lindholm and Neil Pionk playing together, and Josh Morrissey and Jeff Petrie. I think that would work fucking awesome.
I like that.
I think that makes Pionk way better. He doesn't have, like I said, he's been holding that load, and give that to Lindholm, and then you just take the points.
What's their defensive line?
I have Logan Stanley and DeMello.
Yeah, that's good. That's a great shutdown. I love Logan Stanley.
That's a good shutdown line. I like that.
Yeah, I like it. For sure.
Does this team get me to the playoffs, boys?
If Jeff Petrie bounces back to 3/4 of what he was last year, yes.
I think it does.
I think he does.
Licking the balls in playoffs.
Now, there's a small downside of the team that you didn't change that is consistent in the team now. Now, I understand why you didn't because it's really hard, is not having another top six guy to help. It sounds crazy to say, being that you have Scheifele, Connor, Ehlers, Dubois, all these guys, but they never show up at the same time. I'm not saying get like
and they don't coexist in each other. They don't coexist perfectly with each other to win 75% of their games.
Yes,
that's the only way I can explain it.
You need a top 6 winger who just brings out the best in anyone he plays.
And that's why I got Nolan Patrick, because this is like, if you can play with these guys, man.
He's healthy.
I was thinking of Dubois, Connor, and Patrick. Like, there's oh man, it would 100% work. Like I said, I think this is like the biggest, best chance. Like, if the Winnipeg Jets don't go out and try to get Nolan Patrick for Andrew Copp, I think they're stupid.
Right-handed or left-handed?
Yeah, he's right-handed, man.
Right, yeah. Oh, that'd be wicked.
And I'm not 100% sure how center-ish Patrick will be, but
ultimately, I don't know if he'll be a center or a winger.
Either way,
you want him to be a center, obviously.
You want him to be a center, but if he likes it on the wing and he lights it up there, then.
But yeah, no, you're right. We definitely would have to lean on Ehlers, Scheifele, Dubois, Connor, Lowry, and Wheeler to really be.
And again, it's just another year gone with a bad Wheeler contract. I'm gonna say it until he retires. Until he does now, he's not worth what he's ever gonna be paid in the NHL. from this point going onwards. And
he's at his decline.
He's at his decline, and I don't love him as your guy.
Yeah.
It didn't work for how long?
Wheelers
So-
Supremes.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yep.
so that's my season. So, yeah, I have absolutely pissed all. What do I got? No first round pick, no second round pick. I have a Columbus third round pick, no fourth round pick, a fifth round pick, no sixth, and 2 seventh round picks. So really don't have anything this year at all, which is
Not the most
very
exciting
unsettling.
draft for Winnipeg.
That's all right.
But
What about
I do have that top
contracts?
4 that
Your
I
team
think.
is good enough that you don't need to have an exciting draft. So
Yeah, and I have that top 4D that I honestly like. I really like that Lindholm, Puyonk,
worth
Morrissey,
noting
Petrie.
too.
Like that sounds like it should balance super well.
Worth noting too, Hellebuck's kind of had a disastrous season. By his standards,
man.
He is bad compared to his standards right now. Like, I think that's fair to say, and I'm not gonna say like he's gonna be bad for all time. Like, don't jump into that. Obviously, right now, based on what he's shown and what his contract, all this shit, he's not playing good enough. He needs to jump up and play what he was last year.
Yeah, and honestly, I think it's a lot of wear and tear from the last 2 years. Of
I think it's also defense
so much
being so bad. I agree.
So good.
I agree, but sometimes, but this year he looks like he doesn't care as much. Like
he does,
he looks like he's like I've given my ass off. I'm done. It seems, and you can't have your goalie quit. So hopefully he just finds some rejuvenates himself.
I'd like to see him bounce back.
Yeah.
So this is a team that basically would like the cap to go up next year if possible. At least $1 million or something.
Yeah, don't we all accept? Wow, you're the only team that doesn't need the cap to go up this year.
Arizona just doesn't want the cap floor to get raised.
Yeah, that's the only thing. Hey, no shit. But yeah, I didn't do too much in the off season. I actually just went to the Islanders and gave them a defenseman that I believe was destined to be an Islander, Logan Stanley. So basically, all I'm doing is saving money because obviously I took on quite a bit of money, and I honestly need to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, almost 8 guys need to be making league deals. On my team with the, like you said, Wheeler's $8.5 million, and I ain't getting rid of that.
You almost have to trade DeMello.
So sadly, I had to save a few hundreds of thousands of dollars, and that is trading Logan Stanley and Eric Comrie to the Islanders for Colorado's 2022 second round pick. So I now have two. Yeah.
For a second.
Do you think I could get Michael DeCaulay or something?
No, I wouldn't pay much more in a second, but I love Logan. See, my issue is I rate Logan Stanley a lot higher than most people.
I understand. I do too, and I understand why you have to move him in that case because he's gonna want money, and this team is cap strong now.
Yeah. I mean, if I'm being honest, I really hate trading Logan Stanley. The fact he's only making $900K and you can't afford it is really upsetting.
Yeah, he's gonna want more.
No,
absolutely, but he has another year. Having next year Logan Stanley 900K too is fucking great, man.
It has nothing to do with really his contract. Honestly, it kind of does, but it doesn't. It's I won't be able to play him. I want to play Hanola.
I get that.
I don't have a spot for his Stanley unless I'm not playing Hanola again. Yeah. So, and I'm not doing that, and I'm not sitting him on my bench for 900K. So that was sadly how that went. So I had to give up my good backup goalie because I think Eric Comrie will ask for $1 million or something.
He'll ask for something.
So
no, I mean, no matter what, I'm gonna dislike this trade because I don't like trading Stanley. I'm in my mind, that is one of the if I'm putting.
I don't like it, but I understand the necessity.
If I'm picking guys that are 23 and under, he's probably top in the top 5 of those names for me. I really like the potential he can bring with his size too, and I like we did the playoffs. If I'm the Islanders, for sure will give you a second for Logan Stanley and Comrie. That sounds like a great deal for me in my eyes.
Yeah, I was thinking about getting I would ask for a DeCaulay, a Michael DeCaulay, see if they can snag somebody off of him.
Might be.
As
I think.
much as
I mean,
might
I
wanna
would
give up
give
on.
you Michael to call because like I really don't give a shit. He's not.
Or I'll take the rights for Zach Parise
Sure.
because I want to take Zach Parise. This guy's like third on his team in points, boys.
It's because
Actually, he
nobody
was
scores.
the other week, but yeah, I know.
Palmieri has 3 goals.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Pretty decent there. So now I have 2 Colorado second round picks, and I only have 2 Winnipeg picks this year, which is hilarious.
That's funny.
So I own as many picks this year that I have for like actual Colorado owned picks. But yeah, so now I have a second round pick and a third round pick, and the big reason why I traded and got that second round pick is obviously because I didn't have anything. I didn't have a first or a second because of my big deadline shit. But I want to draft Cruz Lucius, boys. Cruz Lucius, brother of Chaz.
Is it
Lucius.
Chaz's brother? Nice.
Hook me up.
I know what's
brothers.
hilarious. When you were saying like, "Oh, I'll trade for Lindholm and stuff," the first name I thought of who I want, I was like, "Oh, I could do it with the Chaz Lucius." In that deal, that sounds pretty nice. Obviously, a Billy Nola too, but yeah, I know. I love that.
Got the Cruz and Chaz together.
Yeah.
Cruz looking like he's.
That's
looking.
I like
looking
no
like
disrespect, no disrespect to the Lucius family, but I kind of want to slap their parents for naming them surfer names and not becoming surfers. Like, what a disgrace to the beaches of Akakakatoma. I don't even know if that's a place, but sounds like a beach for surfers, that's for sure. No, don't name your kid. What is it, Chaz and
Cruz?
Cruz.
They called him Cruz, man.
Hey Chaz, let's cruise to the beach.
Chaz and Cruz sounds like a TV show.
Oh, it sounds like a Disney TV show with the Paul brothers.
Zach and Cody meet Chaz and Cruz.
You've first seen Zach and Cody in The Sweet Life. Now it's time for Chaz and Cruz to kick it up a notch. Sorry, go on.
Rankings, old Cruz, is highest ranked by recruit scouting is 38th overall. Lowest is 81st. So he's also 57, 60, 69. So
should be able to
might be able to nab him with that second.
Should
well, hopefully it'd be fucking
be.
sweet, man. Get the couple cruises together, man. Like how dope would that be?
I like it.
So basically, you got to sign those guys to 777. Give them the lucky number 7.
Yeah, it's cheapest deal ever.
Brothers, hope that works. But yeah, I guess to get into some contracts going and my team going into next year. I guess I didn't really do too much. I didn't have much to do.
You have one name that I'm looking at for signing. That's the big one and then obviously some depth guys.
Yeah, so depth. I basically just signed everybody to 750K deals. Jansen Harkins hasn't really produced consistently. No, I didn't take Adam Brooks. I'm assuming he's gonna get claimed by Vegas or something. So whatever. Yeah. So who else do I got here? Oh yeah, biggest signing was my backup goalie because I traded my backup goalie. Guess who I fucking signed, boys? Come on now. I need a min-league contract.
Craig Anderson.
DT. Kicker, my boy. He's going to come to Winnipeg, and I'm going to go get fucking season tickets to the Jets and go watch this kid sit on the bench, go hang out and talk to him. I'm going to buy the
right behind the bench, right behind the goalie.
Right where he's
man.
The whole time.
We'll play cards and
you see Hellebuck there?
Just like download chess on your phone and just
fuck yeah, buddy.
Right to the
do
camera.
the Dalov and play fucking video games on my phone and
X's and O's.
Yeah, so like you said, there's really only one contract.
There's only one
here. I guess I'll bring up the 2. What do you guys think of Zach? I brought up Zach Parise. What do you think Zach Parise going on this team? I think they need probably more of a scoring type of forward.
Sure, if you get him for under 900K at the max.
Yeah, I gave him like $1 million because, like, honestly, he's playing pretty good. Like,
$1 million.
In all reality, he deserves $1 million for sure after how he's played this year, if not 2, because like he's probably looking for a real paycheck again.
He's already made his money. I don't think he cares. I think he wants to win. My thing is, as crazy as it sounds, I don't think he'll sign with you. I think he just signed with Tampa for $750K.
Yeah, exactly.
Play 5 minutes a night and win a cup. Like, That's what Corey
And
Perry's
that's
there for.
perfectly fine with me because, like I said, I don't know if his dynamics exactly what I need. Anyways,
So,
like I really don't. I don't know if he'd work. I need more of a
If there's
scorer.
more interest in him around the league, no. If there's no other interest, then absolutely. Like,
I just had a tough time signing somebody because I was just unsure of where I would sit and who would help and this, that, and the other thing. But
there's hundreds of names you could pick for your 13 forward, 12 forward. So
I did sign like Eric Gustafsson. He's a Swedish D-man. I thought I'd go get another Swede for Lindholm to play with since there's no Swedes on this fucking team. Not one. They have like one prospect that's a Swedish D-man. He's a right-handed Swedish D-man. So maybe one day he'll play with Lindholm. But
go get that Swedish guy from Philly. What's his name? That prospect who was on the Sweden's team this year. It's really good. I'll Google him.
Okay. But yeah, let's get to the big name. PLD. How much money are you giving him? Well, I am giving him $7 million for 4 years, which is exactly how long Kyle Connor's contract is. So I'm not giving him any more than that. He would be the second highest paid player on my team. 7 mil for 4 years.
I think you take it.
He's 23, so he'd be 24, 25, 26, 27.
You can hopefully get a big payday.
Yeah, so if he's actually epic, he can get his $10 million.
The only downside of that is you are walking him to free agency with that 4-year deal. I would almost do. Could you do a year less and do it when Wheeler's up? Yeah, do it when Wheeler's up is what I would do. I think.
Why would he not? Would he still be an UFA or what?
He'd still be an RFA, I think. Yep. Maybe. I don't know if he would. I'd have to look. If it made a difference, I would do it till then. But if not, then who cares?
Yeah, I guess if he was still restricted, if
he's restricted up to Wheeler's last year, you gotta do that because he got out of control and $8 million off the books.
See, like I'm not worried about that because I want him. Like that's the thing. Like if he doesn't want to be here, then that's a whole different story. I'll deal with that at the time.
No, but I'm just saying it makes a contract easier.
So
makes a contract easier when you can negotiate through a whole summer rather than negotiating through 1 week in July. So that's my argument.
And I'm also more of a guy that wants to like actually have contracts coming up when these guys deserve to get higher. You know, like instead of just cheesing the shit out of people, like I'm all for cheesing a guy if he's okay with it.
I don't even think that's really cheesing him. He's not proved enough that he deserves a long-term deal.
Well, no, I'm just getting at the fact that I like paying people what they're worth instead of just giving haggle giving a guy whatever for like 3 years and he's just way better than that the whole time. And it's just
I'm cool. I'm obviously cool with that too, but I'm just saying that I think he could.
Or he like progresses at that time and he becomes that player, and then you pay him his big money when the time is right. So, instead of like Kadri, like look at Kadri, like what the fuck just happened? This guy's worth $7-8 million the last 3 years, but like he took that $4.5 million deal for an extension when he should have been making fucking good money the last 2-3 years. So.
I don't have sympathy for bad contracts for players because you signed the deal. You had final say. You signed the deal. I agree. Players should get paid more.
I agree.
But like if Pittsburgh signs Crosby to $7 million on his next deal, I'm not going to be upset. And not going to sit here and be like, he deserves $20 million. Because based on what Crosby's done, he's deserved to make well over 8.7. He's deserved to make $10 million every year. He's deserved to make 12. If we keep going by that, there's going to be not enough players for teams almost. So I like you're a GM, that's your job is to fleece the players.
Your job is to get those guys down. Yeah. Do your best.
In a way, you make them happy.
It's a wicked team.
It's so
I don't see why he would would he accept an 7-year deal at $7 million? Like if he did, I guess I would.
No, maybe not.
All over that, but I highly doubt it.
And I don't know if I give it to him.
Either way, that's my team. That's all I did, boys.
I like it. I love it.
So going for it, I got
the defense
Ehlers, Scheifele, and Perfetti on a line. I got like Connor, Dubois, and Patrick.
I forgot about Perfetti. I guess would play a lot of minutes next year.
He'll come in next year.
And then I got my third line with Lowry, Wheeler, and like I said, hopefully the cap goes up like $1 million so I can sign somebody somewhat prominent maybe for that position, like a Nick Paul, I guess,
Or
would be
maybe
a
you
terrible
trade
spot.
DeMello if you have to.
Or you hope that Vesalainen fucking works. And that's the other thing is that DeMello's my scapegoat of
he's
if
the
I
scapegoat
really
if
need
needed.
to. If I need to make some moves and do something, I trade DeMello. But I my bottom pairings Hanoa and DeMello.
No, I love that
so I
too,
feel
absolutely.
like that works nice. So.
It does, but if you need that 3 mil, you need that 3 mil, and so like I said, safety net.
But yeah, if they can get somebody decent that can play with Lowry and Wheeler on the third line, then that gives me like a Svechnikov, Vesalainen, and a Derek Grant on a fourth line, which sounds pretty nasty. And there's other guys like Toninato and Harkins and shit like that I got.
Yeah, I wonder.
So
I wonder if Svechnikov or Vesalainen could play up in that third line next year, like take a step. I mean,
like that's the thing. Like, do I need to get that third line guy? Like, I could hopefully Vesalainen.
You have enough depth.
Takes a step.
I would say no because you got to give opportunity for like you never. What if Chaz Lucius has the best camp ever next year and needs to play third line center or something or wing, whatever the case is? Like, what if he actually is so good you can't not play him? I like
the other
giving.
thing is.
Yeah,
I like the other thing is Vesalainen, Lowry, and Wheeler. Like, fuck
that could
me.
be
I don't
good
want to
too.
play
That's
against
a big
that line.
line.
Just 6 fucking times.
Isn't like Lowry the smallest at like 6'5"? Like, yeah.
Oh, like that would be scary. So,
I think
like,
Vesalainen's the smallest as 6'3" in that line. So yeah, no thank you. No thank you.
So yeah, like I said, I don't even know if we need to grab another guy. You almost got to just hope these young guys start popping off because these are good ages. Like these kids, like Nolan Patrick 23, 24, Vesalainen 23, Svechnikov 25.
Yeah,
these guys are getting in good times to really become who they are. Harkins 24,
I like Harkins,
27.
Yeah.
Like
I think Harkins could really turn into a player. I liked him last year a lot. So
there's a reason I called this team as like a cup winner at the start of the year because they have the pieces. The timing's here, but like that defense did not work this year.
Defense didn't work, and that offense isn't potent enough to make up for that defense.
And they can't handle the injury. I thought they'd be able to handle the Ehlers injury a lot better. Holy fuck, that was
disastrous.
Like why is everybody just done with Winnipeg? Why did I take them out of the playoffs? Because the Ehlers hasn't been on the team for the last like 2 months, and I'm just.
They can't win without him or Connor.
Are you just gonna make the playoffs now because the Ehlers is back? Like that last game was awesome. He's like why they won, but like.
Yeah, no, I think well, the Dallas game they lost in overtime there in his first game back. In their second game, I think they won. Right. No, I agree.
He was huge. He brought a lot to him. Like But once again, it's so scary.
Yeah, this team
I want this team to do good, and I think they do better with this type of roster. I just don't.
Yeah, fair enough.
Holy shit, man. Sketchy.
No,
it's a sketchy move. I think this is the best way to do it, though. Like Winnipeg just needs to make a move at the deadline. They have to do it. I don't think you wait until the off season. I think you go out and get.
I like the jumping the gun on Lindholm.
You do this shit.
Yeah, if you can jump the gun on Lindholm and get him signed with it, obviously, then great. I love the defense. What you did with it, like I think
it's the best thing.
I think it's the best way you upgraded it.
The only thing I was truly really thinking about after I made that cop trade, I was like, awesome. I can never think about our forwards again. I'll just try to figure out how do I actually fix this defense. And I like this is how you do it. Petrie and Lindholm are bigger bodies. They're that behind the scenes.
They're good at puck moving. They can quarterback and power play themselves as well if needed. Like, I like a lot of what they bring.
I think it would bring out the best defensive ability out of Lindholm and Petrie, and it would bring out the best offensive ability out of Pionk and Morrissey.
Right.
And that's like what you need.
Yeah. I would worry about. I would hope Morrissey obviously takes that step and plays better. He has to.
Yeah.
Or else you gotta move on.
Yeah. No, he's on my line. Him and Pionk are like, if they don't fucking do something, I'd be trading him after this year.
I'd be trading him at the deadline. Pionk a longer leash than Morrissey, but not much. Sure. Yeah, it's just man. I thought Morrissey was gonna be like a Morgan Riley. I thought Josh Morrissey would be Morgan Riley 2. I thought they would be the same player, score decent points, be okay defensively, not amazing, be a number one guy for your team, do what you do, right? And just 2 years for now, it's just not been him. So need him to get better, and that defense will help it.
So basically, I'm just giving up on this year's draft, even though if I can get that second round pick, I feel like I didn't, and I got that Cruz Lucius, and I feel like I got somewhere out of that draft.
And
so
obviously upgrade your defense
I don't feel like I killed or shot myself in the foot too bad.
No, I don't think so. I mean,
I
you're
don't think so.
definitely taking a shot at your prospects. Like, you definitely are. By trading away your first, you just natural to do that. Like, you be Tampa Bay and you're trading away your first, you're still trading away prospects in that initially.
Yeah.
Essentially. That's not ideal, but you did get Lindholm out of it. You got top 4D, which they desperately need. You locked them up for 6 years? 7 years?
Yeah, 6 years.
6 years.
6 years at 6.666, which was $40 million, because I don't see how he would decline that. But
you may still make playoffs. There's still a chance. Like, yeah, I'm okay with it.
I think we might be able to make playoffs this year if things kind of like go well.
If Nashville keeps sucking,
Maybe.
yeah, definitely. I definitely see it. But Edmonton's not playing good enough.
Like I said with Nashville, they have a tough last month, man. Like,
do.
if they don't come to play and play against those good teams, they're
And
going to miss the playoffs.
Dallas and Edmonton too. They're not playing. Dallas playing a lot better lately, but they're not playing up enough to solidify a playoff spot. So no, very open. I like it. You gave your team a better direction. I would definitely be looking at a new coach. Not that I don't like Lowry there. I don't
fucking Patrick, dog.
Yeah, I don't dislike Lowry as a coach, but I definitely wonder if you should go for a legit coach who knows.
I wonder.
Like, nothing. Like I said, I don't dislike Lowry. I just want a coach who's done it. I want someone with more experience. I want someone who can drag this team out of the dumps.
Hopefully the Islanders fire Barry Trotz or something.
That would be perfect for the Jets. No, like, Barry Trotz, they would win the cup. I think if he could turn that defense into a proper defense, they'd win the cup.
Yeah.
And they have the second best goalie on his
team. Man. So. Barry Trotz does not hold you back. When you're not good enough, you hold yourself back. Like, look at the Capitals. All those guys were unreal. You just do your defensive duties first, you know. But yeah, sorry I took so long.
That's okay.
This, Winnipeg Jets here, boys. But
it was interesting. We need to talk about.
I feel like I hit her on the nose pretty decently. Like, I think this is an actual legit good option.
Yeah, it's definitely a better option than what they're going with. Now, this is the only thing with this deal is you can think of it as it could be a Philly 2.0 if it goes disastrous. Like, going for these guys. Like, what if Lindholm sucks and you sign 6 years for you? What if Petrie gets worse than what he's been this year? Like, that's always a possibility. I'm not saying it's gonna happen. I think it would happen, but
definitely
if Philly's situation hit, if this Philly curse hit Winnipeg after those trades, I'd be worried. So
that's why I took on Nolan Patrick. There's got to be some sort of positivity. That's got to give me.
Yeah. There's still the young guys in positivity. It's just you're going for it with the defense, which I agree you need to, but you always run the risk of it not working and being a lot of shit. And Chevy would be done after that. If he fucks up this defense one more time, I think he's done. Unless they win,
dude,
obviously.
My defense is now 35% of my cap. Which is an insane amount.
It's a lot of money, but I mean, gotta do what you gotta do. But anyways, that's all we got for this week's edition of the Couch on Ice podcast. Go follow us on our social medias on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube at the Couch on Ice. Do you guys have any final things to plug? Or are we good?
I don't think so. Alrighty then,
boys. Well then, have a good week. Catch you guys on Friday's episode. Peace guys.